All right, archers, welcome to the 4 p.m. line. Your first end is downrange. What we're going to do is we're going to give away door prizes after each end. So as you're heading down to your targets, listen for your name. First up, from Brownell, we've got 2 quarter-pound Astro Flight spools, 1 spool Diamondback 18,000, 1 spool Diamondback 26,000, a tube of wax, and a pack of TPU Speed Knots. Value $158, and our winner is Cole Amsden. Cole Amsden is the first winner. Next up, from Vortex Optics, we've got a pair of Viper HD 10x42 binoculars. Value $499.99. Brian English is the winner. Brian English. And then finally, from Big Shot, we've got the Ironman 18 Target. Value $89.99. And our winner, Ray Keendle. Ray Keendle, you are the winner. All prize winners, you can pick up your prizes in the vendor area at the door prize pickup. Okay, archers, door prize time again. From Gilo, we've got the Gilo Gold Medal 8x42 monocular with stand and gold medal string pouch. Value $68. Our winner is Jula Creech. Jula Creech is the winner. Next, from Shibuya, we've got the Shibuya Ultima Recurve Rest in black. Value $39.99. Scott Balsley is our winner. Scott Balsley. Winners, you can get your prize in the vendor area from the door prize pickup. All right, welcome to the 4 p.m. line of the 2019 Lancaster Archery Classic. We are here at the True Ball and Excel Black Eagle Archery Hall. This is the last line of the day, so our archers are going to be out there. They're going to shoot 60 arrows for qualification. Those scores will then be pared down to get our field for elimination matches. The way it works is, so like Men's Open Pro, we're going to take the top 64 qualifying archers from today. Tomorrow, those archers will shoot head-to-head, sort of like an NCAA bracket, if you can imagine. 1 versus 64, 2 versus 63, et cetera, until we get down to a field of, in that division, 8 archers. And then those 8 archers will come back on Sunday, and they will compete for, in the Open Pro division, they'll compete for a top prize of $20,000. Now, some of our smaller divisions, we only move through 32 or 16 archers, because of the lesser participation there. But they will all have final match shoot-ups, and we call them shoot-ups because there's an interesting format for the very final matches, where if there are 8 archers who advance, the first match will be 8 versus 7. Then the winner of that match takes on number 6 qualifying archer. Winner of that, number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the way our format works. So if you qualify and you make it and you're number 8, you still have a chance to win this tournament, which is one of the great features of the Lancaster Archery Classic, is that format. But as we said, right now what they're doing is shooting their 60 arrow qualification score. We're shooting at targets that are 18 meters away, 19.6 yards. And they're shooting a 40 centimeter face. There you see a look at Mckenzie Brown, U.S. Olympian from Rio. She's shooting here. She is the 3-time reigning champion of women's recurve. So she's out there now shooting her qualifying score. But yes, so 40 centimeter is the face. At the Lancaster Archery Classic, we score the very center, which is about the size of a nickel. That's worth 11 points. The next ring around that is worth 10, then 9, 8, 7, 6, and so forth out. All 60 arrows in the center would be a 660. Now, before today, we'd only ever seen one in the history of the Lancaster Archery Classic. 12 noon line, Brady Ellison, pro archer, shoots for Matthews. He shot a 660, second one in history. It was exciting. I was out there on the field. It was just an incredible vibe there, and that was really exciting to see. So, is there another one out there in the 4 p.m. line? Well, I guess we'll find out. There we see a shot of pro Emily McCarthy. She's mainly a 3D shooter, but she also shoots indoors. Shoots for Matthews. There, she gave us a good smile. Thanks, Emily. Yeah, so this is a full line. So there are 135 shooting lanes out there, and each lane has 2 archers. So that's what we're looking at on the field out there, competing at 4 p.m. That's a lot of archers, a lot of arrows, and it will take them probably about 3.5 hours to shoot all their 60 arrows. You can see now they're walking down range. You can see there's a round bale, and each one has 4 targets on it. So there's 4 archers per bale. We're rolling down now with Lexi. And the archers collectively will pull their arrows, score them before they pull them. They're keeping 2 sets of scores, one on a paper card, one on an electronic tablet. So you can go to the website, archers.com. That's RCHERZ.com. And there you'll look up the Lancaster Archery Classic, and you can follow the live scoring. It will have all of the previous round shot from 8 a.m. and noon, as well as a running tabulation of the 4 p.m. line scores. Now it's about two ends behind
So the scores that you see. Oh, okay. Before I finish that thought, got some door prizes to give away.
Door prize time again, archers. First up, from American Whitetail, we've got a 10-pack vertical 3-spot tough target faces, value $59.99, and our winner is Fiona Maud. Fiona Maud is the winner. Next, from Dead Center, $50 gift certificate for any Dead Center products, value $50. The winner is Joshua Saunders. Joshua Saunders is our winner. Finally, from TrueFire, we have the Sear back tension release in teal, value $149.99. Austin Ayers is the winner. Austin Ayers. Winners, you can go get your door prizes in the vendor area from the door prize pickup.
All right, so if you're just tuning into this and you don't have a lot of experience with target archery, there are a lot of different disciplines out there. Some of the basic breakdowns are recurve versus compound bow. Compound bows are the ones with the wheels. Recurves are the ones basically like you'd see Robin Hood shoot. And then there are different divisions within that. You're going to see some equipment on these bows. Right now you're looking at a shot, see those silver arrows. So those are pretty fat. That's called a 27/64 diameter arrow. That's the largest diameter arrow that is allowed in competition. That archer there is shooting those fat arrows because he's hoping to catch some lines. Obviously, you saw the circles there. A fatter arrow gives you a better chance of cutting a line. All you have to do is cut the line of the higher scoring ring to get that value. You don't have to have your entire arrow within the ring. You just got to touch the line. So you can imagine the fatter the arrow, the better chance you have of that. However, a lot of the recurve archers you're going to see shooting very skinny arrows. Those recurve archers, especially Olympic recurve, what we call, those are the archers you're going to see out there with recurve bows. They're going to have a long stabilizer sticking out front, two coming back towards them, and they're going to have a sight on their bows. There you can see the purple bow would be bare bow, but the one next to him you can see his stabilizer setup. That's an Olympic recurve setup. We call it that because that's the bow that would be shot in the Olympics. And great shot. Then while we're talking about, the guy next to him is bare bow. You can see he has no sights on his bow. He's got weights on the front there, but according to our rules, they can only stick out so far. So that riser has to be able to fit through a certain ring to meet our bare bow qualifications, and his bow would do that. But both of those archers are likely to shoot very skinny arrows, just because the performance, with a recurve bow, you need an arrow that flexes quite a bit as it comes off the bow, and those big fat arrows, they're not very flexible. So a lot of recurve archers tend to stick with the skinny arrows, but you will see some recurve archers who will shoot a fatter arrow. That's a tougher thing to get those arrows to tune, and there's not very many archers out there who do that. Brady Ellison, who's probably the top American in the world, he tends to shoot a fatter arrow, and he does it because he can do it. He's Brady Ellison. That's what the best can do. But so there we see our head judge, Larry Wise. He's given the green flag. That means we're going to start shooting here. There you see so that purple bow right there you're looking at. You can see that has a short stabilizer out front. The little silver thing under his hand sticking out there. So he is going to be a bow hunter setup. I'm guessing he can enter open division with any setup, but usually with that short front stabilizer, yeah, he's got you can see his sight. There's a single pin in there that is lighted. If he is truly bow hunter setup, he has no magnifying lens in there. That's the rules for bow hunter. Then you can see compound bows there with long stabilizers. That's our open division. You can shoot pretty much anything on your bow there. They're going to have stabilizers that are out to 33 inches long. Their sights, they'll have magnifying lenses in there. Some of them shoot 8, 9 power. That's too much for me. I can only handle about 4 power. Otherwise, I shake like crazy. So those are some, but as you can imagine, with that magnification, that archer can see the target better. And if you can get a better sight of the target, you can have more precise aim. So that's what they're trying to accomplish with that. You can see that, go back to that Matthews archer. Oh, I can't switch back to that. But you'll see some archers with a stabilizer rod that's running down the side back towards him. Sometimes you'll see archers with 2 stabilizers, and that's just their preference. That's called a V-bar. They're all trying to get balance there. That woman we just saw was Sarah Lance. She's a very prolific indoor target archer in the U.S. So we got a good shot of her. Got a chance to talk to her earlier, and she was explaining some things she's been playing with her draw length to try and perfect her shot. So even some of the best in the world, they play with different things. Your draw length, how much weight you have on your stabilizers, how much weight you were drawing with your bow. There's lots of little intricacies that you can get into. How heavy your arrows are. Lots of things that can affect your accuracy there. There's a good shot. That white bow, that's definitely a bow hunter setup. You can see his short front stabilizer. And is he going to take that out bow hunting? Probably not. A white bow like that. But it's in the bow hunting spirit is the reason for the short stabilizer. You don't see bow hunters shooting 30-inch stabilizers. So that's what we're going for. This is target archery. We're not trying to make any bones about that. But the bow hunter division is one that's very important to us. And incidentally, our friends at bowhunting.com who have the web show Bow Hunter Die, they have thrown in $1,500 as contingency money. So what that means is we have a prize, Lancaster Archery Classic, for first, second, third place in the bow hunter division. Bowhunting.com, they will add and they will give an additional, I think it's $750 to the winner, 500 second place, whatever's left, 250 to the third place archer. Yeah. That's contingency money. All you have to do is wear something that says Bow Hunter Die while you're competing. So potentially, you know, the winner of the Bow Hunter division is going to take home over $1,000. That's almost unheard of in the Bow Hunter division. In other tournaments, they just don't get very much recognition there. But here at Lancaster Archery Classic, we love all the disciplines. And so we're very thankful to have bowhunting.com partnering with us to provide a contingency for that class. So we're walking down range here. Probably got a door prize to give away.
All right, archers, door prize time. From Top Hat, we have a gift certificate for 24 top hat components, excluding tungsten, value $80. First winner, Pete Mastrorocco. Pete Mastrorocco is our winner. Second up, also from Top Hat, we have another gift certificate for 24 top hat components, excluding tungsten, $80 value. Mark Anthony is the winner. Mark Anthony. Winners, you can go claim your door prizes in the vendor area at the door prize pickup.
All right, great shot there of scoring. You can see all the different arrow configurations. You see short fletchings, you see long fletchings, skinny arrows, fat arrows. Archers do different things to get those arrows to fly as straight as possible. That's the goal. because they want to be able to hit wherever they're aiming every single time. So they're going to do that through a lot of different ways. Different things work for them. And you're seeing a great shot there of a variety of arrows being shot at the 4 p.m. line of the Lancaster Archery Classic. We, of course, want to thank all of our sponsors. We have a host of them. As we mentioned, we are in the True Ball and Excel Black Eagle Archery Hall. Our live video today is being brought to you by Hoyt Archery. Our live scoring is courtesy of Dead Center Archery products. The competition range is sponsored by American Whitetail Target Systems. The practice range is brought to you by Big Shot Targets. And then we've got a host of other sponsors, including Easton, SKB, Biter, Conquest, Matthews, PSE, CBE, Scott, Elite, Prime Archery, Gold Tip, Top Hat, and on and on and on. We've got lots of sponsors. We appreciate all of our partners here that help us to bring the Lancaster Archery Classic. 1,800 archers we're going to run through today at day's end, and that's a record for us. That makes it the one of the largest indoor archery tournaments in the country and the largest on the East Coast. So we have archers here from all over the world. The best of the best are here, all competing in their different divisions, and it's an exciting, qualifications is exciting. Once you get to the elimination matches, you kind of ratchet up the excitement a little bit. And then when we get to our finals venue, that's when the excitement is through the roof. I don't know how they control their nerves out there. I think I would have a heart attack if I had to stand up and shoot in front of these people. But our live stream is being seen all over the world. We've got on YouTube. I'm going to talk to my producer here for a second and ask him to talk in my ear how many people we got watching YouTube. If anybody knows, hopefully they'll hit me back with that. We've got 617 watching right now. I know we peaked at just over 1,000 when Brady Ellison shot his last couple of arrows to complete his perfect 660. I know I was standing right there. Everybody was huddled around him, which has to be a pressure cook. I can't even imagine that. Just the pressure alone of doing that on your last 3 arrows, but then knowing that everybody behind you is watching. But Brady Ellison's one of the best in the world, so it probably was more nerve-wracking for me than it was for him. But lots of people tuned in to see that, and we're glad that everybody got to see a little piece of archery history there. Down here at the range. There's a bow hunter set up there in the middle. Got all kinds of bow configurations out there. Archery is a very individualized sport. A lot of the equipment looks generally the same, but I can guarantee you there are probably no 2 bows out there that are alike. Everybody has little things that they like that other people don't. So that's one of the great things. You can do it your way, whatever it takes to get that arrow in the middle. You do what you got to do. So tomorrow, wanted to be sure we pointed out. So right now, currently at the Classic, there are archers of all ages out there. We've got kids. We've got seniors out there in their late 70s. All ages compete in the Classic. However, tomorrow we have a special tournament within the tournament, if you will, that is the Easton Youth Trophy Tournament. So at 1 p.m., this tournament is open to any archers under the age of 21. And we divide them up into age groups so that, you know, the youngest 6 to 10, they're competing against each other, and then there's another division for, you know, up to 14 and so on, so that, you know, 10-year-olds are not shooting against 20-year-olds. We break them up like that, and then according to their equipment as well. And this gives them the opportunity for young kids to get a big-time tournament experience. They're going to be shooting on the exact same field we're looking at here tomorrow, and they'll shoot 60 arrows just like everyone else is doing today. The difference being that their tournament will be completely contained in one day. Whatever they shoot, whatever their score is for those 60 arrows, then that's how we will pick our winners. They don't have the individual matches. But what that does is it gives a young archer the opportunity to experience a big-time tournament, to shoot in these conditions with the best in the world, but they only have to come out for one day. And it's at a fraction of the cost of what it is to compete in the full classic. If you're in the full classic, you may have to commit 3 days. If you qualify on Friday, then you make it to eliminations on Saturday, and then your finals are on Sunday. There, you've just invested 3 days. You know, young kids, maybe they can't do that, parents can't do that, that's okay, but we want them to be able to experience this as well. So we created the Easton Youth Trophy Tournament last year, wildly successful. We have almost 400 kids that are going to be shooting tomorrow, and we're really excited about that. Get these young kids out there shooting. Someday they could be out here. Maybe one of them will shoot a 660. Who knows? So we're definitely excited for the Youth Trophy Tournament tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, if you are watching at home, or if you can come out, whichever you prefer, but certainly you can watch our live stream. There's our schedule. So tomorrow, the finals you see there, Saturday, January 26th, 1 p.m., Senior Open. Those times, 1:40 p.m., Women's Open. Those will be the finals for each of those divisions. And then on Sunday, we switch to Masters Open Pro, Women's Recurve, Men's Recurve, Youth Male Open, Men's Open, Women's Open Pro, and Open Pro. Finally is our final match on Sunday. But tomorrow, and then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this, 5:40 p.m., we have the Barebow Finals. Now, if you watch the Lancaster Archery Classic video stream, then you know that the Barebow is hands down, far and away, our most popular video that people come back and watch. Last year's Barebow Finals has, last time I looked, it was something over north of 220,000 views. Something crazy. That's a unique group of people. Everyone gets excited. This year we have over 200 barebow archers competing in this tournament. That's almost unheard of in the U.S. for that type of barebow. There are other descriptions of barebow by different companies, different organizations, but our barebow is recurve, no sights, and we have more than 200 there. So I think we got to give a couple prizes away here. Hang on a second.
Archers, door prize giveaway time. First up, from Gateway, we have a Gateway gift pack, which includes feathers, glue, waterproofing, all kinds of things you'll need to fletch up your arrows. Value $56. Our winner, David Simos. David Simos. Next up, here's a big one from Elite. We have a gift certificate for the Elite Ritual 35 bow. Value $999.99. That's a good one. And our winner, Matthew Pollock. Matt Pollock, you're the winner. Finally, from Carbon Express, we have 1 dozen Tank 23D shafts. Value $184.99. And the winner is Joseph Brea. Joseph Brea is the winner. Winners, you can go claim your prizes in the vendor area at the door prize pickup.
All right, so we got some scores that we're seeing back here. This is the Men's Open Pro division. Excuse me, I keep saying Men's Open Pro, but it's actually the Open Pro because anyone can enter it this year. We also have a Women's Open Pro, but the Open Pro is for anyone who wants to enter. And that's for our top prize of $20,000 with the, so the way archery works in the pro world is, so let's say the winner gets $20,000 from us. Now, whatever bow they're shooting, that company is going to have a contingency program where they may provide $10,000, $15,000 on top of that to the winner. The arrows, the stabilizers, the sights, they will all have contingency money for that pro. So the top pro could walk away here on Sunday with anywhere from $50,000 to $60,000, all just for one archery tournament. So that's pretty incredible. And this is obviously not an completely up-to-date score here because we don't have Brady Ellison at number 1. See Paul Tedford there. I believe his score is holding up at number 2 with a 658. So he is just 2 points back of Brady Ellison. And then you see Steve Anderson, Cody Seitz, Justin Carter, Todd Lambright, and on and on. You've got, oh, there was Braden. I saw him in there with his 660. We wouldn't want to miss him in there for certain because that 660 is pretty special. And as you can imagine, hitting a nickel 60 times from a distance of 18 meters, 19.6 yards, that's just ridiculous. Precision, accuracy, the mental strength that you have to do that. Anybody who does any kind of sport, you know that just after a while of doing something like that, it's going to get into your head. Hey, I'm shooting pretty good. Man, I hope I don't miss. And then next thing you know, boop, you know, you just, and we're talking about fractions of an inch. If he's a half inch off on one of his shots, he just shot a 10 instead of an 11. So that's incredible. But if we can get a wide shot of the field here, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I wanted to talk about where we are. There we go, backing up. Okay, so this complex that we're at, it's called Spooky Nook Sports Complex. It's in Manheim, Pennsylvania. So you're looking at this here. All these archers set up. Yesterday morning, everything you're looking at there on that green turf field was 2 separate soccer fields. There was nets, and I mean nets to stop the balls on all sides of the court, in addition to the soccer goals themselves with those nets. That was 8 a.m. yesterday. That field was divided into 2 full-length soccer fields. Actually, it's probably not full-length because it's indoors, but 2 full soccer fields for indoors. And in less than a day, our team at Lancaster Archery, I'm going to ring our own bell here for a little bit. Our team of workers converted this into this huge archery venue. The other side with the blue court, so that was a whole series of hard courts. There you go, where they play field hockey. They play a game called futsal, which I never heard of before. But that 2 days ago, that was all set up for those other sports. We took out all the dividers. There's lots of things we had to move. We had to put down our own tape because we have our lines, you know, shooting lines, where the targets have to go. You know, there's 135. Actually, there would be half of that. But there's a whole lot of target butts in there that we had to bring in. And in just, you know, in less than 3 days, we have turned Spooky Nook Sports Complex into the East Coast's largest archery tournament venue. So that's all credit to the Lancaster Archery staff. A lot of hard-working guys there. Brandon Austin, Trey Bruggeman, Chris Scott, just a whole team. There's probably 80 guys who are working out there, and ladies, some ladies too. So we're certainly proud of their efforts, and I'm sure the archers appreciate everything they've done. This event could not happen without all the hard work of the dedicated Lancaster Archery Supply staff. So looks like we're looking at a group of recurve archers here. We got some bare bow archers mixed in with some Olympic recurve. We at Lancaster Archery, we love our recurve shooters. Any style that they shoot, traditional, bare bow, Olympic recurve. We consider ourselves to be specialists in the recurve archery field. We have a lot of expertise on our staff, not the least of which is our founder, Rob Caulfield, was quite the Olympic recurve archer himself. We take pride in catering to recurve archers of all types. So we certainly appreciate those archers. A young man here getting off his last shot. All right. Couple arrows here. It's a woman named Joan I shoot ligs with. Excellent, competent archer. Now we've probably got some door prizes here.
Archers, door prize giveaway time again. First up from Gilo, we have the Gilo gold medal backpack in gray with a gold medal string pouch. Value $78, and our winner is Leon Jones. Leon Jones. Next, from Gateway, we have the Gateway gift pack, which includes 2 50 feather packs and all the things you'll need to fletch those feathers, glue, waterproofing, etc. Value $56. Joe Wells is the winner. Joe Wells. Winners, you can claim your prizes in the vendor area at the door prize pickup.
All right, so you're looking there on the floor. You see that archer just picked up a target with 3 faces on it, and right next to it is a target with a single face. So we call this a 3-spot target that you're looking at there, where the archer shoots 3 arrows per end. So he or she is going to shoot 1 arrow at each target. Now the reason that they do that, it's usually compound archers, although some really good recurve archers will shoot that as well. If they shot all their arrows into a single face, they would end up breaking arrows, cracking nocks, breaking off fletchings. There's a term that's called the Robin Hood, where 1 arrow goes completely splits an arrow that's in a target. You know, in TV they make it seem like that's an incredible feat, but actually in target archery, if a compound archer were to shoot more than 1 arrow into a target face, that would happen a lot. And it does happen out here even with our recurve archers, including bare bow. I did see a Robin Hood from a bare bow archers, so they have that capability as well. But generally the recurve archers will shoot the single face there with just the 1 scoring face. And they'll shoot all 3 arrows into that target. Pulling out there. Now that archer there is changing faces. You can change your targets anytime you want. Looks like someone's calling for a judge. See this judge there, she's got her magnifying glass out. So if the archers on the butt cannot come to an agreement over what an arrow should be, they'll call a judge, like this woman is doing with her magnifying glass and a light. So she is really inspecting to see if that arrow is touching the line of the higher scoring ring. The judges, basically their aim is to give the archer every opportunity to earn those points. They don't want to take any points away from an archer. So they're going to do their best to try and see if that arrow is at all touching that line. Now, if it's not, it's not. Then they don't get the points. But it can be sometimes hard to see with shadows. If there's an, if an archer is shooting and there's already a hole in the target, it can make it difficult to determine exactly where that line is. So the judge comes over, and then it's the judge's call. But they only call them over after the group has agreed that they cannot come to a decision on what that arrow's value is. And there's no animosity there. The archer who shot the arrow has the right to call at any time and say, you know what, I don't agree with that score. I'd like to have a judge look at it. Everybody's okay with that. There's no problem there. So you're looking at a real good target there. The archer in red, that's Chris Schaff. So those are his arrows there that are stacked in the 11. You can see he's got a really clean target. Chris Schaff is one of the best in the world. Just took the silver medal in Nîmes to Brady Ellison. So he is for sure going to have a very clean target. We would expect nothing less of Chris Schaff. Great archer shooting for Hoyt. Been around the circuit for several years now. There he is pulling his arrows out. So they'll come back. Danny Evans there, the Matthews archer behind him, well-known 3D competitor. And so you hear us talking about 3D, target archery, what's the difference? It's all target archery, but so 3D archery is where they're outdoors shooting at foam 3D animals. And it's just a different game because there's different distances. Here, it's the same distance, 18 meters, every shot. There's no wind, there's no rain, there's no weather elements at all. So this is a specific type of archery here. And you can do some things like you can shoot a lighter draw weight. You don't have to pull 70 pounds if you're a compound shooter. You can shoot 50 pounds because you're doing the same thing every time. But if you're outdoors at 3D, you need some more arrow speed. So you might want to ramp up that draw weight, 60, 70 pounds to get the arrow speed because so you could be shooting at multiple distances with the 3D archery. But interrupting myself because we're going to go to John Wirt, who's out on the field. He's got an interview for us.
Okay, back again here watching some of the barebow competition. I have Florian Kasperger. Close? Okay. Florian came to compete with us this weekend from Austria, one of a big group of international shooters that we're really pleased to have with us. Florian, tell us why you made the trip to the Classic this year. What helped you make that decision?
Yeah, I watched the Classics the last 2 years on YouTube, and yeah, it was a dream come true to come here. And I was in Rome at the World Cup, and there I met John Demmer, and we talked about, and yeah, it was an easy decision. So I got the holiday, I got the sponsor, I paid the flight, and yeah, I have to come. Who
were your sponsors that paid the flight?
Yo, it's Easton Sports. They do 3D targets, and a good friend of mine, and yeah, he made my dream come true.
Very good. Well, we want to thank him for allowing him to send you here to compete with us. It's been an honor to have all of these international shooters here, and it's been an honor getting to know you. Thank you for the gifts you brought me. And what time did you shoot today?
8 o'clock a.m. I was shooting, and yeah, shooting was not good, but I made a lot of friends, and yeah, that was the perfect day.
Very good. Thank you, Florian. Thank you for coming to shoot. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you very much.
So Austria, there you heard it there. We have a contingent from Austria who came out to shoot the Classic, and you heard him say that it was a dream come true to come here to compete in the barebow. That's the level of dedication that we have given to the Lancaster Archery Classic has given to barebow archers, everywhere. I mean, we want to spotlight those people as much as anybody. They're great archers, they're great people, and that's exactly what we're about, archery and people. So he wanted to come out here and compete. Barebow, you heard him mention that he met John Demmer, who is an icon in the sport of barebow archery, but John's apparently got someone else there to talk to. Let's go back.
Whose bow is this?
Oh, John is not quite ready yet. We'll get back to him. Look at that young archer there. That was a solid hold there. Whoever that young man is, he is a pro in the making there. That was a great hold, great shot of him. Getting off his last arrow. But as we were saying, barebow, yes, that has become sort of a trend here at the Classic, that we have been building up that barebow contingent. More and more are coming. We're at over 200 this year. We're real proud of that. John Wirt, who you saw on the screen there, he is somewhat of an icon in the sport of barebow archery as well. If you shoot it anywhere, you probably have talked to John Wirt at some point or another. So here we go. He's ready. Go ahead, John.
Okay, when I get the microphone at the Classic, what I do is I hijack it and I take it over to the barebow side of the field and try to give everybody a look at what barebow archers are doing here at the Classic. I understand that sometimes I get carried away with it, but it's a big part of the Classic. One of the most enthusiastic groups we have here is the barebow group. So let me explain very briefly what they're competing with. Barebow means an Olympic-style recurve that's been stripped of all of the accessories. Basically, you have the rest that allows you to shoot the bow and nothing else. You can add weight to the riser, but anything you add to the riser has to fit through a hoop or a 12.2 centimeter ring. So this is one of the barebow bows that we're competing here with at the Classic. It is a regular recurve bow, just like the Olympic shooters use, but there are no sighting devices and there are no stabilizing devices. We have over 200 barebow competitors here at the Classic in 2019, and it has been an exceptional field of archers, one of the strongest and most competitive fields I've ever seen. That's a quick look at what we're using. I want to thank you for all of you and putting up with the barebow attention that we give here at the Classic, but it's a big part of what we do, and we appreciate all these archers.
That's great, John, and yes, we do forgive him for highlighting the barebow archers, just because we think they're just the best. They're a special group of people, and so I think we're going to go down range here, which means it may be door prize time again.
Archers got some more cool stuff to give away for you. First, from BCY, we have the Bcy Bundle Pack, which includes a ton of stuff from BCY. Value, $124. Our winner, Evgeny Antonov. Evgeny Antonov is our winner. From Vortex Optics, we have a pair of Diamondback 12 by 50 binoculars. Value $259.99. Our winner is Lance Tidwell. Lance Tidwell. And finally, from BCY, we have another BCY bundle pack full of all kind of goodies from BCY. Value $124. Winner is Lee Collins. Lee Collins is our winner. All our winners can head over to the vendor area to claim their prizes at the door prize pickup.
So you hear us giving away equipment. That's for our the door prizes that we're giving away. This is various equipment that's given to us by our sponsors and by by various companies that we work with. We certainly appreciate that. There are literally dozens of prizes that we're giving away, over $20,000 worth of gear. There's bows, there's arrows, there's everything associated with archery that we're giving away to our contestants this weekend. All they had to do to be eligible was register for the tournament. They're automatically eligible for door prizes. So we certainly thank all of our sponsors who donated products to us to give away, and we hope that these archers put them to good use. We know they will. So we're just pulling some arrows here. We're going to head back down range to continue shooting there. You see that clock on the floor that said A and B. So as we mentioned, and underneath the targets, you'll see A, C, B, D on those cards. So as we mentioned, there are 4 targets per butt there. And what happens is there will be one line of archers that will stand back there. They will each shoot 3 arrows. That may be the A-B line. That's their target position. Target position A, target position B. You can see they're separated by C and D. That's so their targets, when they're shooting them, they're 2 archers shooting together are not shooting at targets that are exactly side by side. So there's some separation there. So you can imagine if you're looking from 20 yards away down range there, you might get confused as to which target you're supposed to shoot at. Even though you got your name at the top, if you've got a magnifying lens, you might not be able to see that very readily. So you'll have the A-B line. They will all shoot their arrows, and then they'll step back. The C-D line will come up. They will shoot their 3 arrows. They go down and pull. Now the next end, when they come back to shoot, then C-D line would be up first, and A-B would be second. So they alternate positions there. So it's not just, you're not just shooting in the same position every time, just to keep the flow of the tournament moving. Got a nice shot of the field there. You can see this line is pretty full. There's Joby Shaw. He's on an end target. There's a well-known 3D pro there. And he seems to be way out on an end target. So this is definitely a full line. 4 p.m. Got a lot of pros out there. You can see that there's a lot of people in the audience just watching, a lot of archers shooting. This is just a great event. If you love Target Archery, this is a great venue to come see it. You can rub elbows with the best in the world and just have some fun with archery out there. So start shooting here. And you can see that clock in the center there counting down. So the archers, each line, they have 120 seconds to shoot their 3 arrows. Some archers shoot fast and get through all 3 of them quickly. Some archers tend to take their time and they may use all 120. Some archers may have some problems. They may, you know, draw back and they just can't get steady, so they let down. And so they want, having that 120 seconds allows them to spread out their arrows, get calm as they take their shots. So there you see Matthews. You can see that that name is Strachalski, that Matthews archer. You can just see his back there. His binoculars are kind of covering his name, but he's a local young archer who works at Lancaster Archery. He's a pro. Had some podiums in the 3D world, and he's just a great young kid who's shooting professionally. He's about to start college, and we're glad to see him shooting out there. You also see that archer with the white hat. That's Jesse Broadwater. So he has won this tournament, I think, 3 times. Won Vegas multiple times. Definitely someone who you would bet on to be in the mix for winning this tournament would be Jesse Broadwater. call him the freak show because he is just so calm, and it's ridiculous how accurate of an archer he is. So he has shot, we talked about Brady Ellison shot a 660. Jesse Broadwater has shot at least one, if not two, 659s, where he dropped just 1x. And so his precision is just out of this world. So we come back over to a group of recurve archers. There's some young archers in there. That's always good to see. Barebow and Olympic. In the center there is a very tall archer, the tallest one out there. You see just coming to full draw now. His bow is up way higher than everybody else's. That's Scott Heinzmann, a friend of ours from Archery 360. That's an venture of the Archery Trade Association that works to promote archery. Scott Heinzmann does a lot of work for them. He's here competing. Always good to see Scott on the line. You can see some of these archers, you're looking at their noses and you're seeing, like, what do they got, a Band-Aid on there? Well, yes, they do. Especially barebow archers. They're going to bring that string right back so tight to the side of their face that the string actually rubs against their nose. And I've shot with plenty of them who, if they didn't have a Band-Aid or some kind of tape, they end up with a bloody nose. That's just the nature of the game. So a lot of them get ahead of that and will put tape on their nose just to protect that as they take their shots. And what they're doing, incidentally, let's talk about how those barebow archers shoot, is they bring the arrow as close to their eye as they can, and then they're actually using the point of the arrow to aim downrange. It's nowhere near as precise as having a sight, but they can get good at it. Someone like John Demmer, he's going to be very accurate with that type of aiming. So, all right, we're going down. Let's do another door prize.
Archers got some more cool stuff to give away for you. First, from BCY, we have the Bcy Bundle Pack, which includes a ton of stuff from BCY. Value, $124. Our winner, Evgeny Antonov. Evgeny Antonov is our winner. From Vortex Optics, we have a pair of Diamondback 12 by 50 binoculars. Value $259.99. Our winner is Lance Tidwell. Lance Tidwell. And finally, from BCY, we have another BCY bundle pack full of all kind of goodies from BCY. Value $124. Winner is Lee Collins. Lee Collins is our winner. All our winners can head over to the vendor area to claim their prizes at the door prize pickup. Archers door prize giveaway time. From Dead Center, we have a $50 gift certificate, good for any Dead Center products, value $50. Our winner, Nicholas Carter-Rapoli. Nicholas Carter-Rapoli is our winner. Next, from Conquest, we have a gift certificate for one front bar and one side bar of the Smackdown 747 stabilizers. Value $449.98, and the winner is Richard Welling. Richard Welling is the winner. You can claim your prizes in the vendor area from the door prize pickup.
All right, panning across the targets there, getting a good look at a series of 3-spot targets. 2019 Lancaster Archery Classic. The True Ball and Excel Black Eagle Archery Hall. This is the 4 p.m. line. This is our final qualification line of the day. As we mentioned, we'll have elimination matches tomorrow, starting at 8 a.m., I believe. Let me check the schedule. Saturday elimination matches start at 8 a.m. So, of course, you can come back here live tomorrow and continue to follow the stream. We'll have coverage of all the matches. The elimination matches will run until about probably about 11 a.m., at which time we will break for a bit, and then at 1 p.m. we will start the shoot-up finals for the Senior Open, followed by Women's Open, Masters Open, Bow Hunter, Youth Male Recurve, Youth Female Recurve, Youth Female Open, and ending with Barebow at 5:40 p.m. tomorrow. There's the schedule there. Sunday, you can see the divisions that we have scheduled for competition. There will be nothing but shoot-up finals on Sunday. So we will go through those quickly. And you can see usually the finals, each division takes about 40 minutes, except for Men's Open and Open Pro. Those are going to take a little longer, over an hour, because those are our largest fields. So we're going to have 8 archers in the finals of those 2 divisions. Men's Open. So they're going to shoot the same equipment as all the open archers. That is our largest field. We have well over 300 archers in the men's open division. And so whoever wins that is a really, really good archer. They have to beat a lot of other good archers. They could certainly probably compete with the pros, but for whatever reason, you know, they're maintaining their amateur status. Maybe they just shoot for fun. It's not their job, so they are in the men's open versus the open pro. So that will be on Sunday. That's always a good one. You can see men's recurve, looking for Brady Ellison, maybe Crispin Duenas in that. Women's recurve, probably see Mckenzie Brown in there, probably see Casey Caulfield, 14 years old. She is on fire this year. On track she will be competing to try and make the U.S. Olympic team that will go to Tokyo in 2020, as will Mckenzie Brown. I'm sure we will see them in the women's recurve. So Masters Open Pro, those are going to be professional archers who are over the age of 50. I like those guys since that's my crowd, so I'll be sure and watch them. Sort of like Tom Brady, it's hard to root against a 41-year-old quarterback. I always want to see an archer who's in their 50s doing well. Gives me hope. Maybe I can do that someday. Probably not, but. There we got a good look at some open setups on compound bows there. Draw weights. People often ask about draw weights. How much are they drawn? Well, on the compound bows, you can, let's stick with women and men. You could probably see some draw weights anywhere from probably 45. There may be some archers out there, compound archers, shooting 70 pounds. Dan Mccarthy, a pro, he tends to shoot high poundage, 72 pounds. Levi Morgan's out there. I think I heard him say he was going to be shooting his 3D rig, which means he's in the neighborhood of 70 pounds. And it's a compound bow, so there is let off. There could be let off anywhere from 70% up to 85%, depending on how their bow is set up. So their holding weight will be significantly less, is the bottom line there. Recurve archers, on the other hand, they are using their fingers to draw, and they are holding the full bow's weight on their 3 fingers at full draw. So if it's a 45-pound recurve, that archer's holding 45 pounds on their fingers. So you can imagine that's not necessarily conducive to holding steady, but the best in the world, they managed to do it. And with a recurve draw, you know, there really is no draw limit length on there. You can draw it back 10 inches, you can draw it back 30 inches. I mean, you can draw it back almost infinite distance. Obviously, at some point, the limbs are going to break, but it's not like a compound bow where you draw back and there's some sort of draw stop. Either a stop hits the limb or a stop hits the cable on the bow there, and you really can't draw any farther. So that's one of the challenges of recurve, because you can imagine if you draw 29 inches one time and shoot an arrow, and draw 29 and a half the next time, and then 28 inches the time before that. I mean, we're only talking about an inch or less difference. Well, that can have a huge difference in your impact point downrange. So that's a skill and craft in itself, in always releasing the arrow at the same point every time. That's one of the skills of recurve archery. So we've got heard the whistle there. If you hear that beeping sound, that's an electronic whistle that tells the archers when it's time to shoot, when it's time to stop. Looks like we've got a hold up out there on the line. Everybody's hanging around. No one's allowed to shoot until you see the judge standing out front there. The judges hold everybody back, obviously for safety purposes. Yes, there are things that happen in an archery tournament. We have archers who miss the target, they hit the backstop. There are archers whose releases go off accidentally and they shoot the floor. We've never had any kind of injuries, but there are incidents that happen with archery where the arrows don't all necessarily hit the target. Got a young lady there settling into her shot. Look at how still that bow is. Watch that stabilizer. You can see how steady she's holding that thing. Same here from the back end. Watch that stabilizer. The steadier it sits, the better the aim is. See that archer there? I hate to pick on him. It's obviously an older guy. We're just glad he's out there shooting heck. But you can see his stabilizer bouncing there. Now, what he just did, he let down there. So he knew that his pin was dancing around that target, so he didn't like it. He didn't feel comfortable, so he let down. It looks like it's simple, but that's hard to do because your mind is saying shoot, shoot, shoot. But he had the self-discipline to pull it back and not shoot it because it was probably going to be a bad arrow. So that's certainly kudos to that archer there. And again, we're glad to see him out there. Wherever that arrow went, we're just glad he shot it and he was here to do it. Great shot there of that young archer. You see that brass device in his hand. So what that's called the release. It acts as sort of a trigger for that archer. He's got a bow hunter set up there. I don't think he had a trigger on there, which means it was what we call a hinge or back tension release. And so the whole thing, the whole release is the trigger. So that archer has to rotate his hand to get that bow to go off versus just simply pressing a trigger like you would for a gun or something like that. And by doing that, having that type of release, you can, when you're hitting a definitive trigger, when you're actually pulling your finger, you can start to anticipate when that bow is going to go off. When you anticipate, then you're gonna probably flinch, which is bad in this game. So that hinge release or back tension, he's just gonna keep pulling or rotating his hand until the bow goes off, and hopefully it surprises him. That's, believe it or not, that's what you want, a surprise shot. Because if you're surprised, then you can't. Oh, you saw that archer flinch right there. So he has a thumb trigger, so he definitely flinched on that when you saw him react. So that was good timing for us. Unfortunate for him, he did not like that arrow. But I'm sitting here now. Chuck Cooley has joined me in the booth here again. Glad to have him back. Chuck, that archer right there, he really didn't like that arrow.
No, he didn't look super jazzed about letting that one go, and I can relate to that. After my afternoon, I had a few less than perfect shots.
Yes, Chuck, you shot at noon. How did it go?
I met my expectations. I've been incredibly busy at the house and the shop, and I knew I didn't have the practice time in to really do well. And it showed. The thing is my equipment. I have really good equipment, and the equipment was flawless. So everything was great there. It was just the operator error, we call it. But I shot with a really great group, and we had a lot of fun. And that's kind of the cool part of this particular event. I'm shooting in the Masters Senior Pro division. And I had another senior pro with me, and then we had a couple that was just a couple amateurs, and the cool thing is they don't the expectations aren't there, which is really cool. I think we do a door prize here, right?
Door prize. Let's give something away.
All right, archers, we got 3 prizes to give away this time, so listen up for your name. First, from Scott Archery, we have the Scott Ascent Micro Hinge Release, value $199.99. Henry Churchill is the winner. Henry Churchill. From Victory, 1 dozen NVX 27 V6 shafts, value $109.99. Junsa O is our winner. Junsa O. From Mountain Ops, 1 bottle of Ignite Trail Packs in Tiger's Blood flavor, whatever that is. Value $49.95. Catherine Wu is the winner. Catherine Wu. Winners, you can head over to the vendor area and pick up your prizes at the door prize pickup.
You do a great job of giving away all those prizes, PJ.
Well, I feel like Santa Claus today, so yeah. Let's just give stuff away that wasn't mine to begin with. But Chuck, I wanted to get your thoughts now. You're just coming off the noon line, and so describe for people what that's like. I mean, we're just watching people shooting arrows, and it might seem like, what's the big deal? But it's nerve-wracking out there, even though, as you said, your expectations were low, but I bet your nerves were pumping.
Oh yeah, the first couple of arrows getting out of the bow, because I worked this morning, I didn't get a chance to go to the practice range, right? And so I get out to the line, and I'm catching up with people that I haven't seen, and I'm not paying attention. I'm on B spot, right? So I'm not thinking, and everybody comes off the line, and they're like, dude, you missed the first practice end. Oh, well, we're off to a killer start here. This is going to be awesome. So I got 3 arrows to warm up before score. But it went good. It was okay. It wasn't awesome, but I had a lot of fun. I was surrounded. There's so many really good people that I've met over the years because I've been doing this for so long.
Absolutely.
That I get to catch up with them, and we get to chat, and I get to meet new people no matter what. And especially at this event, this is one of the things I really enjoy about this event, is you get to shoot with different people all the time. right?
Right.
You're not just clustered in the same old groups and the same old people that you always shoot with. You know, when you go to some of the other major events, you know, you get to interact with kids, you know, and seniors and juniors and adults, and everybody's there, and they're all right there with you. So you're not sequestered into your own little group. And it makes it a lot more fun, and that's one of the things I really enjoy about this. And the one lady that we shot with, not a great archer. I mean, she had a couple of zeros today, but she was having fun, and she, you know, same thing. She was like, you know, I'm having a great time, and it's important to recognize that when you're going to come to a tournament, especially like the Lancaster Classic, that you don't have to be a perfect shooter. There's
Right.
a lot of not perfect shooters here.
Absolutely.
And they're having a blast, and they're shooting arrows, and they're, you know, making new friends and seeing all the new gear. And so, you know, you don't have to be afraid to come to these events because you don't think like you're good enough, or you don't think you're worthy, or something like that.
No, you can have just as much fun doing this no matter what you're shooting. I mean, look at those young guys there. I'm sure they're having a blast. I didn't get to shoot it this year because of some scheduling conflicts, but it's just fun, as you said. I don't know how else to describe it. It is pressure packed, but yet it's fun.
Well, yeah, it's pressure packed because you want to do well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you're like, oh, I need to do so good. I need to do so good. And then you get to shooting your arrows, and you're like, ah, okay. There's Wade Smith there, buddy of mine from out on the West Coast.
Yep, there's Wade, and right next to him, Shrewd Archery, that's Mckenzie Brown. We talked about her a little bit earlier. Yeah, Wade's been around a long time.
I'm glad to see her back here.
Yes. Oops, she didn't like that shot.
Ooh.
Something happened there. Saw her react. That was not smooth.
She'll bounce back.
Mckenzie, of course, got a lot of fame and name recognition when she represented the U.S. at the 2016, I guess it is now, Olympics in Rio. We only were able to send one woman from the U.S. to the Olympics that year, and it was her.
How'd you like to have that kind of title, right? How cool would that be? I know you're a whole country.
Yeah.
You get to pick one person. Oh, yeah, we'll take her.
Yeah.
And, you know, she did great.
Absolutely. So just on that subject, because we have qualifications for the 2020 Olympics coming up, so each nationality, they have to earn their spots on there. The maximum number they can send is 3, plus 1 alternate. And so they have to perform at a certain level in order to send 3. If they don't, they only send 1. And so that's what happened with the women for the U.S. at the 2016 games. We sent 3 men, but we sent just Mckenzie. She was the lone woman. So we're certainly hoping for more this time. Come 2020, we want to get 3 there.
I think we've got a deeper field now, yeah.
Yes, for sure.
But it's not just one event, and that's the interesting thing about the Olympic qualifiers. And you know, when you talk about what it takes to make that team, it's a series of events over the course of almost 2 years, right?
Yeah.
I know I've talked to Rob with what his travel plans are going to be this year. You know, what do they? He said he's going to be like in the States like 90 days or something like that out of the entire year.
Yes, there's the Pan Am Games as part of the qualifications. Then there's tournaments like the Arizona Cup, Buckeye Classic,
U.S. Nationals.
U.S. Nationals.
And then some international stuff that you should, you know, to get your ranking and all that other kind of stuff. So there's a lot of work. There's a lot of effort.
So you saw that archer there in the elite shirt. So his peep sight apparently wasn't coming around. He reached out there with his mouth and made sure it turned straight.
Turned his peep into a kisser button.
You got to do what you got to do to be able to see that target. So. Looking down there, they got binoculars, want to see where their shot went.
I love seeing all the different gear and how people set it up.
Yes,
See
I
how
was
people
talking about
shoot
that earlier. I said I would wager a bet that there are no two bows out there that are identical.
Watch his hand. He's going to curl right into that release. Watch. So he puts just that. Yeah, there
Whoop.
it goes. Squints down
Can't
there.
tell if he didn't like it or just couldn't see it.
There's a great. Look how steady
he is locked in. That's a long. Oh, good call.
What's he got on the clock?
He was
5
holding
seconds.
a long time.
Wow, that's a
Look at
quick.
that. 3, 2, 1. Just got it.
We had a guy on our line today that got red carded.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it was close. He was just after the buzzer.
Ah, shoot.
Just after the buzzer. I had to let down. Like, I'm not paying attention, right? I'm just like, all right, let's just put a good shot down here. And I let down, and the guy next to me goes, "What are you doing?"
Too
and
close.
I glance up. There's 12 seconds on the clock. So I come to draw real quick, and I hear him go 4, 3, 2, and I bow, and I assisted that shot quite a bit.
Well, I was going to say, so as bad as it is to get off a bad shot is to get off a fast shot.
Yeah.
When
yeah.
you're forced to. So.
I edged out a 9 on that one, which was way better than a 0, but that was about the fastest reload I ever had. So, oops.
I think we probably got to give something away here. Let's check.
Oh, yeah,
our
there's
list.
guys up there scoring. We have to do that.
All right, archers, we are at the halfway point of the 4 p.m. line at the Lancaster Archery Classic. You made it this far. So for door prizes from Stanislavski, we have the Stan Perfects long neck thumb release, extra large, value $249.99. Taylor Bergman is the winner. Taylor Bergman. From SKB, we have the 4217 RC double recurve bow case, value $309.99. Benjamin Herr is the winner. Benjamin Herr. Winners, you can head over to the vendor area and claim your prize at the door prize pickup.
I'd like to win one of those new bow cases. I saw those at the ATA show. Those look pretty
Yes,
hot.
the Pelican.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
Are you guys giving some of those away this weekend?
I don't think they even have any in production yet. I don't think we have any in-house.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, that would have been a great prize.
Well, I was hoping to win one, and then I was thinking, well, maybe I have to buy one, but now I can't even do that. Come on, I got Vegas around the corner. Don't you know somebody, PJ? Come on, who do you know?
Mr. Pelican. I don't think that's his real last name.
I'm going to go with no.
Pulling some arrows here, and I can tell you that those backstops that they're shooting into. So if an archer,
whitetail targets?
yes,
Yeah.
if an archer is not struggling to get it out, it's because they have lube on their arrow. If you shoot an arrow into those backstops, they're designed to take a beating, is what it is.
And
you don't
stop
want them
an
falling
arrow.
apart,
Yeah.
right? And you need to be able. That target butt needs to stop that arrow if it's shot in the same spot 60 times. So it's pretty solid foam. And if you don't have any lube on that arrow, those things are hard to pull out.
Yeah, we struggled with that a little bit. I had forgotten to buy to bring arrow lube with me, so I sent a buddy over to the trailer. I said, "Hey man, go grab me a bottle of arrow lube." And yeah, you're right. I mean, those are the American whitetail targets, and basically what it is if you imagine like a 1/8 of an inch thick foam layer, and they roll it up until it turns into that big wheel.
Yeah.
And they put a face on it so it looks pretty, and then we shoot it with arrows.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, they have to stop arrows, and so
Yeah.
you see people occasionally, they'll be struggling out there to kind of pull their arrows, especially if they've gotten into a spot where nobody has hit before.
Well, you figure, I mean, how tough the target had to be for Braden Gellenty. 660. I'm going to keep talking about it because I just can't believe that I saw that. But anyway, so
I saw the first one. I was there.
It was incredible. So his 3 spots, he would have had 20 at each spot. I mean, they were all in the same hole.
I bet they didn't make him change his target either.
They
I won a new target today.
Did you?
Do you know how that works?
How does that happen?
So when you've hit the 10 so much that you've worn it out, and it gets a little tough to kind of call an X line or a 10 line, the judge will walk up. And in my case, he said, "Hey, Mr. Cooley, you won yourself a new target." I was like, "Oh, cool."
And in layman's term, he said, "You need to change that."
Yeah, change that. That was his polite way of saying change that.
So with Braden's targets, I can tell you, because I was personally responsible. He signed both of his targets, 2 330s, and I ferried them away to a safe place. They will be in a frame somewhere. Not for me, but for on display at Lancaster Archery.
Well,
so.
we've done. I think if you've been over to the Lancaster facility, there's a target over. Well, there used to be a target on the wall from Darren McCutcheon.
I have not seen that one.
I think it was when he won the car.
Yes.
Or it was the same year he won the car.
Yes,
Yep.
that is over there.
Yep, that hangs on the wall.
Yep.
I think Rio's targets are over there. Right?
Rio's, I was going to say, so Rio Wild is the other archer who shot the other perfect score ever at the Classic. And yes, his 2 targets are hanging on the wall. And we're going to get Braden's up there ASAP because that was exciting. So you were on that line.
Yeah,
but you were on the other side of the field.
I was on that green field where we're watching these archers now. I was on that green field.
And Braden was on the blue. Did you know that was happening?
We had no clue.
No clue.
We had no clue.
Wow.
No.
I had no idea. There was 3 ends left, and somebody said, Braden Gallantine's still clean with 3 ends to go. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, it hadn't filtered over to that side. And then when the cheering and the announcing, I was like, ooh, something happened.
Yeah.
And then Rob made the announcement. I was like, wow, that's really cool. It's only the second time.
For qualifying, you almost never see any emotion from an archer after they finish a qualifying line. But he turned around, the fist pump. There was a mob of people waiting there to shake his hand and, give him a hug. And it was just, that was great because you just don't see that kind of excitement after a qualifying round.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of Braden's emotion on the line. I
Yeah,
always
sure.
have been, right?
Well,
Like,
heck, you shoot a 660. I don't care who you are. You're going to show
dude,
some
I'd be
motion.
jumping up and down. You'd have to tie me to something. That would be a wreck. But I've always been a big fan of his emotion. That he's not afraid to, celebrate in a respectful but dang, dude, you just won, or you just made a great shot. Fist pump it. Get into it. I love that about him. That he's not afraid to show that. That it's like this archery. It's not a funeral. It's an archery tournament, right?
Someone came over. The best comment I heard was someone went up, shook his hand, and said, "I have that same bow, but mine doesn't shoot like that."
Well, apparently it will. There must be something to do with the operator.
Yeah, that was incredible to see. I was very glad I was there to see that. So
when Rio, when he shot his, it was upstairs in the old shop. At Lancaster, and he always shot the 4 o'clock line. He always shot, at that time, he always shot the late line. It was, Rio was there, Dee was there, Logan was there. I mean, they were all, it was really cool. It was really cool. It was a great moment. It was awesome. And the same thing though, they were playing it so close to the best over there. I mean, we were glancing over. I mean, he's only 15, 20 feet away from you, right? So we're glancing over there going, oh, the target looks pretty good. But there wasn't a lot of chat,
Right.
Alex Wiffler there
you see,
on the end.
Alex was a
former Vegas winner.
And then the following year, 15 or 16, he won the Classic here, open draw. There's Brady Ellison in full draw. The Hoyt shirt there. At least I think that's Brady. Yep, that's Brady.
Yep, got a haircut.
He did. I was like, wait a minute. And the black bow threw me there, too. That's a different look for him. Usually he's got a red one. But Brady Ellison, of course, 3-time U.S. Olympian. He is 2-time reigning champ here. At least twice. Yeah, twice. So he'll probably be in the mix on Sunday for the men's recurve final, I'm sure.
Oh, I would. I would be stunned if he wasn't in the shoot off there.
Right, right.
So we're at the half. See everybody grabbing targets there. So did you already go into this, PJ, how everybody has to change targets at the half?
No, I did not. Go ahead.
So at this particular tournament, because we shoot 60 arrows into essentially would be one piece of paper, there's a rule here that at the half or halfway through the round, no matter what your target looks like, you are mandated to change it. You must take down your existing target and you must put up new paper. That keeps the scoring more consistent. It keeps, if the judges have to be called to call an arrow, you know, they have the ability to, or the thought process is there that, you know, you have a cleaner looking target. One of the other rules at this tournament is you can't repair your faces during the round, right? You can't. A lot of times you see it in Vegas or see it in any other given tournament. After guys will shoot their arrows, they'll kind of pop the paper back out, right? So that it has a nice clean look to it.
Reach around with an arrow point or something, push it back out.
But you're not allowed to do that here, so you know the targets, they do get worn. The cool thing is that you know, there's always a constant supply of target faces there. You could change your face almost every single round and nobody would say a word.
Nope.
But you still are mandated to change it halfway through.
And those targets, incidentally, when they change them, we keep them. We give them out to local clubs. You know, they may just have a couple holes in them, but it's still a usable target, and somebody can get some shooting at it. So we save them and
they don't go in the trash can.
Nope.
That's one of the things I've always wondered about Vegas and indoor nationals. You know, thousands of target faces they go through on the weekend, and they just wind up in a trash bag.
Yeah, no, not here. That box there that you just saw, the large box, that's where they're accepting the used faces that we then organize and, as you said, give out to local clubs.
Yeah, one of the officials came by and asked for our faces. Said, hey, I'll take all, unless you want them. If you want to take them home. But,
yeah, you can have them. Or we took Braden's. We just took them right
you just
from them.
seized the evidence.
Yeah.
That's really cool, though. I mean, that's awesome that he did that. I was talking. Well, I think when you and I were chatting this morning about who we were picking. You know, with him just coming off of a win in Nîmes, and I know how good he looked, and I had been listening to his podcasts and listening to some of his commentary and things like that. That I think he's on a roll this year, and gosh, I hope this really carries through for him tomorrow.
Yes, so that's the one of the you know, things about this tournament is, okay, he shot the perfect score, he could get knocked out the first game tomorrow.
It's happened.
First match.
Yeah, it's happened. So you've gone over how that works, right?
Yep.
So it'll be 64 versus number one.
Yep.
63 versus number two. There's a great shot up the field there, seeing everybody kind of getting reset. And everybody, this is a couple of minutes of stretch time, almost like seventh inning stretch when everybody does that.
Speaking of which, so Matt Stutzman, an archer you know very well, he's known as the armless archer.
Great guy.
He came by and spent some time with us. We made a video that we're going to show, and just when you see how incredible this individual is, it's truly inspiring. So we're going to check out Matt Stutzman.
Let's take a look.
That's the skittle on the left. Yeah, perfect.
I was born in 1982 without any arms. The doctor said there was no medical reason for why I was born without any arms. Because it was kind of a unique situation, the doctor told my parents that it was going to cost millions of dollars to raise me. You're going to have to bring in specialists, you're going to have to bring in people that teach me how to do everything, or modify the house so I can, you know, get dressed in the morning, that kind of stuff.
And because they didn't have millions of dollars, kind of, you know, freaked them out a little bit, right? So they put me up for adoption when I was 3 months old. At 13 months old, I was adopted into an amazing family. I actually have 7 brothers and sisters. Because of that, they would actually let me try literally anything I wanted to do. Let's say I want to climb an apple tree. They would say, son, you can climb it by yourself, but you're going to have to climb down it by yourself. You're going to have to think on how to get through that circumstance or that situation on your own. And by doing that, I really felt like they were setting me up when I grew up to be successful, because if they catered to everything, even at a young age, which I'm sure most parents would want to run and help their child all the time, they knew I was going to move out someday, right? And so because of their mindset and how they, you know, how they taught me how to think like that, I was able to actually have no modifications even to this day in my house. When I was 8 years old, I remember coming out of the house and I hear this thing go over my head, and I hear another one, and I look over and my brother's throwing apples at me from about 20 yards away because we had an apple tree. And I remember on the 3rd apple, I ducked, grabbed an apple between my toes and threw it back at him, and I hit him right between the eyes. And that should have been the sign for me at like 8 years old that, hey, maybe I should get into something that's, you know, eye-foot coordinated or shooting, you know. You know, I've been thinking about it, and I feel like having no arms is actually a benefit to shooting. Not necessarily from the standpoint of form, but on the mental side. I started archery in October of 2009, but 2012 I was shooting for a gold medal. By 2014, I cleaned internationals. I don't know if you remember that year.
Yeah.
I was one of 7. I got to shoot with Jesse Broadwater in the shoot-off.
Right.
Twice now at Vegas I've shot 899s. Like, wow. I'm so close to, you know, and I feel like the reason why I excelled is all my life I was used to people either making fun of me or looking at me and staring because I'm unique and different. And at a very young age, I was able to not care what they thought of me, and I just do my thing. I'm just in my little bubble. Well, that's half of the battle, and it's archery. When I'm shooting, even if it's just a demonstration in front of one person, or when I speak to 7,000 kids, the second I throw my bow back, I can't remember anything but the target I'm trying to hit. And I don't care what people think, and I don't care that they're watching, because I grew up with that all my life. And I feel like that's a huge advantage in archery. And that's why I was able to kind of accelerate and get as far as I have in the short amount of time that I've been able to shoot.
That's pretty cool.
That is. Getting the Skittles out of the machine, I was impressed watching him do that.
Did you see the Cheez-It one he did?
Yes. Well, that's what inspired of it, and we were like, well, we don't want to copy. What else could we do? He said, well, I like Skittles. Perfect. So he put up a Skittle.
So here we are back, Chuck Cooley with you, and this is PJ in the booth, watching the second half now of the 4 o'clock qualifying line for the 2019 Lancaster Archery Classic, the 16th annual, we've confirmed. We are at the Spooky Nook Sports Complex in Manheim, Pennsylvania. This place is amazing. Have you walked around the whole inside of this place? It's like 17 acres under one roof.
I think I have covered every square inch of it in the last 3 days or so.
I have yet to get over to the other side where all the rock walls and all the courts are.
There's basketball over there.
Yeah, I haven't been over there yet. Yeah. I get so tied up in the archery side of the things over here that I haven't made it over there. There's a beautiful restaurant that we normally eat at here, and of course there's a hotel right here on site attached to the building. And that's where I'm staying. Those are nice rooms up there.
So there, Chuck, we see the McCarthy. That's Emily McCarthy. And right next to her in the red Hoyt, that's Toya Ellison. It's Brady Ellison's wife. So there's two very highly accomplished compound archers, women shooting there. They're always in the mix of things. You can always count on them doing well. I talked about Joby Shaw earlier. He's like way on an end line. I don't know how he got way out there, but
I wonder if he registered late or something.
he must
like that.
have.
And see, here's a perfect example, right? You have Joby Shaw. Joby Shaw, national ranked pro 3D. He's won championships. He's won tournaments. Shooting next to a youth kid.
Yes.
Right? With a recurve.
I can't remember her name, but she is one of our JOAD team members. I see her at the range.
I've seen her here before. Yeah.
Yep. She's very good.
But that's the cool. Again, you know, we touched on this earlier. That's the cool part of this, where you have this interaction between the different levels.
Yeah,
you know.
what golf tournament are you going to go play where you're just somebody just picking up clubs for the first time, playing with Tiger Woods? It's not going to happen.
Oh, well, if you've got $100 grand you don't know what to do with, you could probably do that. But for here, for, you know, $50, you can come shoot alongside your favorite pro, you know.
Yes, that's true. There's some cool jerseys there. I like those. I don't know who
It's got to be
is.
a collegiate team, I'm guessing.
That's
I don't know which collegiate team, but Georgetown?
Could be. Bulldog, yeah, for sure. Maybe.
Look at me talking about Georgetown like I know.
I just like them.
JMU.
Yep,
oh,
there we
well,
are, James Madison.
Now I'm in real trouble.
That's a well-known archery college. They churn out a lot of, well, they have archery scholarships. So
yeah, and they were one of the schools that have done that, you know, probably as long or longer than most.
That's
with
where our own Rob Caulfield, he went there.
Oh, that's right, yeah. I didn't know they were the Bulldogs, though.
Apparently they are. We have one of our instructors over at the Lancaster Archery Academy is Brian Brady. He was a JMU archer as well, and now he works for us, and he's a level 4 USA Archery certified coach. So
really?
Working at the academy, yeah.
Well, you guys have got a pretty good powerhouse of instructors down there at the academy.
Yeah, Heather File, our director, runs the academy. She's also level 4 USA Archery certified coach, and she just runs. I mean, this is basically the academy's tournament. They put it on, and she just runs a super program there. If you're an experienced archer, if you've never picked up a bow before, you got to come check out our academy because we cater to everybody. And, they just have great programs there.
And you guys seem like you're always busy down there, too.
Always. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Our current league, winter league, last week we were shooting. I think we had about 75 archers shooting on a Wednesday night.
There's a lot of shops that would like to have that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just great.
There's Heather there. In the stripes.
Oh, I missed her. There's a good look there. So the red thing there, Chuck, why don't you tell us what that is? I know what that is, but let's talk about it.
That is a finger sling, and I wish Paige was here to tell us what a finger sling is.
Gotcha.
Or a wrist sling or a bow sling.
Yep.
And what that is that's a piece of cord basically, or a piece of string that goes around your wrist, and you wrap it around the bow, and then you hook it to the other side so that when the shot goes off, the bow doesn't go flying down the range.
Exactly.
Last night, Paige is up here practicing, doesn't have a sling on her bow because she's never needed one, never wanted one. Her bow is dead in her hand, and her release slips off.
She wasn't ready.
She punches herself right in the nose.
Oh, no.
Now she's got a bloody nose, and her bow is about 3 meters downrange.
Oh, no.
And everybody in the range is looking at her like, what just happened? And she was mortified. She's thankful nobody has it on YouTube, otherwise she'd be famous. But
hey,
but yeah, that's what a finger sling is. Maybe you're going to give away a finger sling here.
Let's see. Let's give something away.
Archers, door prize time again. First up from Brownell, we have 2 quarter-pound fast flight spools. 1 spool Diamondback 18,000, 1 spool Diamondback 26,000, a tube of wax, and a pack of Speed Knocks, TPU Speed Knocks. Value $138, and our winner is Hunter Garrison. Hunter Garrison. Next, from Scott, we have the Scott Sigma Release 3-finger, purple and black. Value $219.99. Doc Crow is the winner. Doc Crow. And last, from SKB, we have the hybrid 3616 recurve bow case. Value $139.99. The winner is Rocky Cummins Jr. Rocky Cummins Jr. Winners, you can head over to the vendor area and pick up your prizes at the door prize pickup.
Doesn't work.
All right, we're pulling some arrows downrange here. Working our way through the 4 p.m. line of the 2019 Lancaster Archery Classic. We are in the True Ball and Excel Black Eagle Archery Hall. As we mentioned, by the end of the day, we will have put over, right about 1,800. I forget if we're just over, just under 1,800 archers through this facility today. They're from all over the world. They include some of the best in the world, and we know that already. In that we had a perfect round today. 660 shot by Brady Ellison on the noon line. That was an incredible piece of archery history there. Only the 2nd perfect round ever shot at this tournament. So that was certainly exciting. Looking downrange there at some targets. Hopefully those come into focus. Series of, those are called single spot targets, in that there is 1 shooting face. Usually the recurves are shooting those. Actually, if you're shooting compound, at this tournament you cannot shoot a single face. You have to shoot 3 spot.
I'd like to make an adjustment to that rule.
Yes, there can be some days when I could shoot that and not bang any arrows together. So see our judges out there in the zebra shirts. They do a great job for us. Make sure everything is safe. Make sure that everything is done fair. They will call arrows if archers cannot agree on the value of a certain arrow. They can call a judge. Judge will go down there. They've got magnifying glasses. They've got lights. They can really inspect an arrow, and then their decision is final. Whatever they call, that's what the arrow is. But it's all good. None of it, there's no animosity if an archer says, well, I disagree with what you have scored this arrow. I'd like a judge to call it. Everybody's okay with that. It's a facet of the game that everyone knows and understands. Some great shots there. These archers holding full draw. Just look at how steady their bows are. They're just holding real steady when they come to full draw. Barebow archer, he's aiming down he brings the arrow up close to his eye, and he is looking at the point. And he's using the point to aim down range. It is not as precise as having a sight on there, but that's what they do in the barebow class. And they can still be pretty good at it. Even though it's not as precise, they can still get pretty good putting those arrows into the yellow. Got some young female archers on this line here. It's always great to see. Probably look up to archers like Mckenzie Brown, Casey Caulfield, some highly accomplished female recurve archers. And obviously those two right in the middle there, they're JMU archers. They got their jerseys on. We're certainly glad they're here as a team today. Like to see more colleges have archery teams for sure. Programs like JMU. Here in Pennsylvania, we have a school called, university called Penn College, another well-known archery school. Michigan State has a great archery program. We've got Chris and Emily B. Both went through that program, shot for Michigan State. And we just like to see more people support archery in general. It's a great game. It's in the Olympics. Anybody can do it. And literally, I mean anybody. You just saw Matt Stutzman, our video. He has no arms. He is an archer. So we certainly like to see anybody come out and shoot archery. I find it to be fun. Just kind of get out there in this 20-yard game and just start shooting. Not in a competition, I probably have a lot of nerves, but if I'm just shooting at home, that's a great way to, you know, kill an hour or two. Just stand there shooting arrows. It's just something that's calming for me. I just like to do it. I just like shooting my bow. That's it. There you see Mckenzie Brown's target. She's got 1 in the X. That one there's a 10. The Mckenzie Brown target looks like a liner. First one is definitely in the X though. So Mckenzie looks like she's doing well on that end. Here's another barebow archer.
Thanks for letting me step aside there. I was catching up with Greg White.
Sure thing. Yes, Greg.
He just stopped by to say hi.
Another one of our commentators this weekend, part of our competition archery media team. You'll be seeing and hearing a lot of Chuck, Greg, and myself this season.
God willing and the creek don't rise. That looked like a really good shot, actually.
I like the matching there. He's got the purple bow, the purple jersey.
I can tell by his release. I know who he trains with. He trains with Butch.
Butch Johnson.
Yeah.
Yes, he's out here. I saw him today competing. I'm assuming he's competing. When I saw him, he was walking around. But
Yep.
Butch Johnson wouldn't be here for anything else. There you go. Cowboy hat. That's awesome.
He's a staple on the tour. We see him just about everywhere. He goes to Vegas, here, indoor nationals, all over the ASA 3D circuit. Are we giving away a prize now?
I think we might be. Let's see.
Okay, archers, door prize time. From Conquest, we have a gift certificate for 1 front bar and 1 side bar of the Smackdown 500 Pro stabilizers, value $674.98. Our winner is Jerry Willett. Jerry Willett. Next, from Gas Bowstrings, we have 1 complete set of high-octane strings and cables, value $129.99. Matthew Wenger is our winner. Matthew Wenger. Winners, you can pick up your prizes in the vendor area from the door prize pickup.
Everything's in the door. The winner. What did you call it?
The vendor area. You're supposed to go to the vendor area to the door prize pickup. I only say that about 800 times today. So yes, our vendor. We have lots of vendors here. And we have an area there where we have all these prizes stacked from floor to ceiling that we're giving away from our generous sponsors and companies that we work with. They've given us a great deal of equipment to give out to these archers.
I won an SKB case here years ago.
Ooh, that's a good win.
Yeah, it was good. Until I discovered it weighed 27 pounds empty. And I wanted to fly to Vegas with it. So I put all my bows and all my gear in there. And I don't have enough frequent flyer miles to get a bag
What
that
were you
heavy.
at, like 60, 65?
Oh, yeah, I was pushing 70 pounds. Yeah.
Yep, that's you're definitely gonna incur the overweight charge
Yeah.
there.
Yep. Ram Archery, that shop's near me. And actually, if I remember right, one of the guys from Ram went quite a ways in the shoot-off last year, if I remember right.
Oh, great. Hopefully they're back there again this weekend. Oh, there you saw a guy putting lube on his arrow. There he is. He's having trouble pulling those. He doesn't wants to make that easier. Looking across the archers here, there's Tim Gillingham right in the middle. Tall archer with dark hair there. He's got the black and gold jersey. Tim, a well-known pro.
This is the powerhouse line, isn't it?
This is the powerhouse line. Yep. I think I see Joseph
There's
Goza
Rod
right
White.
there. Rod White.
In the Martin jersey, Rod White, former Olympian.
Yep.
Well, is
Right
is
there.
that the right term? Or should you say former Olympian, or is it just Olympian?
I think you're always an Olympian, right?
I think you're
You were
always an Olympian. It's like being a Marine.
Yeah,
Once you're a
exactly.
Marine, you're a Marine.
You went to the Olympics, you're an Olympian.
Yeah. So Rod White shot in the Olympics, now shoots compound, also does, he's got a blog and
Big
does a whole
elk
bunch
hunter.
of
Yeah.
outdoor writing and things like that. He's very active in that whole realm. Seeing a lot of Martin jerseys. Now, when I got into the archery
Yes.
world, 22 years ago, I got into the archery world. And back then, if you didn't shoot a Martin, you didn't win.
Everybody shot Martin.
You just didn't.
Yep.
You if you were one of the cool kids, you shot a Martin. And you know, now we're starting to see their
Yep.
jerseys back on the line.
Oh yes, we're
Oh,
looking
that-
at the targets there. See, it says help, SOS, 911.
I was shooting on target 99 today, so we saw that. I put that picture on my Facebook page, and it exploded. It was hilarious.
So what those are is they'll come into play more tomorrow when it's head-to-head matches. They use that to track the scoring. Archers don't
they call them-
necessarily use it today.
Yeah, they're flip boards. You flip those
Right.
things over so that you can see numbers
You
and the
obviously-
crowd can see what's going on, who's
Yeah.
leading what match and things like that. But
You can
today,
also spell cool words.
yeah, so somewhere out there's another one down there that says aloha. There was 2 or 3 that somebody had gotten creative and did that. But when we saw that one, that help call 911 SOS, oh my, it was hilarious. I don't know who did it. It was done. It must have been done this morning, but oh man, it was
So-
we got a pretty good laugh out of that.
On the left side of the screen there, Chuck, as you were talking about Martin, there's Kendall Woody. And yes, so Martin is under new ownership now, and they're trying to reinvigorate the brand. They've got some high-name pros like Kendall Woody, Rod White, Jeff Hopkins is now shooting Martin. And so we're thrilled to see them back in the target game.
Keith Trail.
Given Keith Trail,
Yeah.
given their history, that's
Oh, there's
just
another
super.
guy. Oh gosh, I'm gonna get hammered for forgetting his name. He just won. Was it the Midwest Open with a Martin? He's a real good buddy of Keith Trails, and his name is just out of my head right at this second.
Well, if he's out there, somebody give us a shout out.
Yeah, if you-
Answer the comment
Yeah.
in the comment section.
Somebody rescue the broadcaster. But yeah, they've made a big surge this year.
Great to see that, because you don't see new bow companies just popping up now and then. We certainly don't like to lose any. So
No, and I think, you know, it's good for the industry. You know, if we're going to see growth in the industry, then we're going to need to see more companies stepping up. And so when you see a company like Martin that was an icon in the industry for decades, you know, they kind of fell off the radar and then make that resurgence. That that bodes well for the rest of us. I mean, if you're a bow manufacturer, maybe you don't like the competition, but at the same time, I think it invites competition because it gets everybody on a different page for ideas. And not every bow suits every single person. And when you're at that upper level, you know, whether it's Hoyt, now Hoyt is obviously that's my favorite bow, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm a Matthews guy.
I've been shooting Hoyts for years. You've been shooting Matthews a long time, I think. But when you look at the Hoyts of the world, the Matthews, PSE, you know, they're all really good equipment.
Well, to that end, Chuck, so one of the things that I do at Lancaster Archery is I do all the bow reviews. So I shoot every new bow that comes out. And I can tell you, if you were to say, come on, you know, one of those has to be a dog. They're not. When you're talking flagship bows, they are all good quality bows. And that's fact. I know people hammer me sometimes. They're like, come on, you need to do a real review, you know. They can't all be good. Yes, they can. And
at
they
the top level, they are. You know,
I shoot the flagship bows, and yes.
I think once you get to the top end, you know, and again, like you say, whether it's a brand new Matthews or a brand new Hoyt or a brand new PSE or you know, pick your favorite top tier brand, a Prime.
Right.
The new Martins obviously are performing very, very well. When you pick your high-end bows, the tolerances are there. The equipment is there, the machining is there, the limb technology is there, the cam design is there. All of those bows shoot well. Now, there are things you can do to make them perform poorly, you know.
Sure. And there's things that I'm going to like about a bow that you're not going to like about a bow. There's things you're going to like that I'm not going to like. So then you get into what feels right for you. But that doesn't mean one is bad. It just means it's different.
When we get it, you should give away something else.
Yeah.
And then hopefully it's a bow. And then on the other side of that, you know, we'll follow this up with maybe what we see in the lower end stuff.
Gotcha.
Giveaway time, archers. Listen up for your name. First, from Biter, we have a gift certificate for 5 dozen Biter nocks of your choice, value $83. The winner, Ian Sterner. Ian Sterner is our winner. Next, from Big Shot, we have the Ironman 18 target, value $89.99, and that goes to Garrett Adams. Garrett Adams is our winner. Your prizes can be claimed in the vendor area at the door prize pickup.
So as we were talking there, so when you see the lower end bows, right? The $250, $300 bows.
Right.
I think when you get in that world, you can see some big differences, right?
For sure.
You can see the difference between tight pockets, loose pockets, tight tolerances, loose tolerances, good machining, iffy machining. I think some of those things get exposed there, but at the higher end, when you're dumping anywhere between $500, $600, $1,000, you know, for a bow, I think they're all pretty equal.
For sure. And you know, we're not building companies. Not everybody can afford a $1,000 bow. Let's just be frank about that. So companies do offer things in the lower end, $300, $400 bow. You can still get good bows for that lower end, but it's just going to be something that's a little more price conscious for archers out there. Hey, if you're shooting a bow, good for you. I don't care what you paid for it. I don't care what bow you're shooting. As long as you're out there shooting, hey, more power to you.
Absolutely. The whole idea is to be out there on the line and shooting and having a little bit of fun. Yeah. Yeah. So we were quiet there first.
So we're looking at the crowd here. One of our, oh, we're gonna switch to this one. Well, Chuck, I will let you introduce everyone to our new guest here.
This is Marisa Harding. Marisa, welcome.
Thanks.
Glad to have you.
Marisa, of course, you've seen her down at Lancaster multiple times. She comes down and shoots a ton of tournaments down at the Lancaster shop.
Absolutely.
But Marissa's, she lives up near where I do in New York, and we shoot together quite a bit. Marisa is somebody that I've watched grow up here in the game and become quite an accomplished archer. Shot very, very well. How have you done here at the Lancaster Classic before?
2 years ago was the first time I made the shoot-offs, and I made it pretty far. I got knocked out like the second half, or the second round. And last year, I shot a little worse than I did last year, but I still qualified pretty good. And
Which division are you shooting in?
Youth.
Compound, or
Yeah,
open,
compound.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But now Marissa's also, she shoots a lot of USA Archery.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you come down to the Lancaster Archery Center and you shoot the tournaments down there because
Yeah.
they do a ton of, well, we shouldn't call them FIDA tournaments, but everybody calls them a FIDA tournament.
Yes.
In fact, Marisa was next to me on the bail today. That was one of the things we talked about earlier is, you get to shoot with people who are not necessarily in your age group. So it was awesome that I got to shoot with her because we don't get a ton of time to compete at the same time. We
How'd
get to
you
practice
shoot?
together quite a bit.
I shot okay. Like, my practice yesterday went really well, and so did this morning, but I just kind of fell apart a little bit. Not, I'm going to say fall apart, but it was a little off, but
How old are you, Marisa?
15.
Okay. So for other young people who are your age out there watching this, why should they do something like this? Why would a 15-year-old come to the Lancaster Archery Classic?
It's a really good experience, I think. Like, this was like my 5th time here, I think. And I don't know, I've just improved every single year, and I've met so many people from here. So
One
That's
of your, one of the girls you shoot against, best friend, idol kind of a
oh
thing,
yeah, Sachi, yeah.
right?
Yes, Sachi, another one of our Joed.
Right. Marisa broke one of Sachi's records, which she was ecstatic about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So what's your national record now?
Well, it's the 30-meter cob record. It's not anymore. It got broken
It got broken
summer.
this past summer, right?
Yeah,
But you
but-
held it for a year.
Yeah.
And what was that? Do you remember?
7-11.
7-11. 7-11. Are you kidding
great.
me?
I don't think I could shoot that now.
I can't. No. Well, at 30 meters maybe I could, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at full
10.
distance.
I'll
yeah.
go 10.
Right. And now, Marisa, when you did outdoor nationals, U.S. nationals for USA Archery, how did you do there?
Last year it was my first year at 50 meters, and it was okay. It was kind of windy, so it was like, it was still a good experience. So, like in eliminations, I shot a lot better than qualifying. And then my last year at 30 meters in Indiana, which was an experience because 20-mile-an-hour wind gusts.
Yes.
Tornado
I remember
warnings.
that.
Yeah, it was
But
pretty.
didn't you medal there as well?
No, I didn't.
What was the one you medaled or the one you won on the team? It was a team round, right?
That was one in Alabama in 2016. I wanted bronze in qualifying. Eliminations, I didn't medal, but then team rounds, I won gold.
Right.
Yeah.
So at 15 years old, how much are you shooting your bow a week? Like, would you say?
Probably every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on my back. Are you practicing today? Have you shot your bow today?
Perfect. Yes.
No, it's great to have somebody like Marisa, as especially in New York State, right? We have a lot of kids that are, shooting, but we don't have a huge program like you have here at Lancaster. So Marisa travels all around. I mean, her and her dad put thousands of miles a year on the van. They go, up to Rochester, Binghamton, Elmira, just all over, several times a week to shoot and practice at high levels. Now, who's your coach?
Gary Neal.
And that's through where?
Northeast Archery Academy.
Right. So that was a loaded question. Should I set her up for that one? But with all the travel and all the exposure and all the experience, do you think what's that setting you up for? Is that helping you? I mean, I've seen you grow and become a lot more confident, a lot more.
Yeah, it's helped me a lot.
Let's talk about some of that, some of the non-archery things that this helps you do. I mean, does it help you with concentration, just mental strength, things like that?
I think it helps me to like push myself more and like try to like achieve more in like school and everything else like that.
That's great. Archery can help you do everything.
It can. I mean, she's a very, very hard worker. She puts in a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it's, you know, it rewards. You know, she gets to go out and do these tournaments, and she's picked up a few sponsors now.
Yeah.
So she is living proof that it's not just old guys like me and you.
No,
Perfect.
nope. There's actually young kids doing this.
Great.
And doing it really well, doing it better,
Good.
doing it better.
That's awesome.
So, have you seen what the scores are today? How's it look for you? Do you have a sense of whether or not you're going to make the cut? What's the gut
right
feel?
now I'm placed 6th right now, and there's
6th?
Yeah, and there's like a pretty big score gap in my class from 1st to 5th. There's like it goes from like a 649, which is like
Wow,
amazing.
a 649.
Yeah.
Wow. At how old?
7. I think she's 17.
Okay,
Youth
so
female open,
Yeah.
649.
Yeah. From between that and 4th, I think it's that, and then a 615. So it's like a huge gap.
That's a big gap.
Yeah, I think after this line though, it'll start to even out a little bit.
Oh, there's a bunch of kids
Yeah, there's
shooting
a few that are shooting good this line.
So what's the cut for your group? Do you know? Is it 16?
Yeah, it's 16.
So you should make that cut. You feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, hopefully.
And then what's the plan for tomorrow?
Just try to shoot better than today. Try to get that groove that I tried getting today, but I couldn't.
Well, you did though. You got
I did
into
a little bit,
You
yeah.
got into it. She started dropping triple X's, and I'm like, see, you know, just a positive attitude
Yeah.
there. And then she did. She picked it up a little bit and started making me look
Yeah.
even worse than I was shooting.
That's always great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super.
It's a good thing we don't have any egos anymore. We're too old for that. So
No, I had to check that at the door. As soon as I had a daughter, I had to check my ego at the door.
that's great.
So before you did archery, you were a race car driver.
Yeah.
And I saw some video of her when she was young. Her dad would set up GoPro cameras on the car and things like that. You think she's murder behind a bow? You should get her behind the wheel.
Well, what another year, and she'll be out there on the roads with us.
Actually, in a couple of weeks.
In a
I'll be
couple of
16.
weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Now I feel even older. Thanks a bunch. So are you going to Vegas this year?
No, I'm not.
But you've done Vegas several times.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like we don't have like a ton of money to do it, and I kind of want to like mix it up and do different tournaments this year, see how it is.
So what's the focus for this year? Are you doing, I mean, obviously, you're here.
Yeah.
And you're still doing the Lancaster shoots and everything like that. Whenever these guys have a major down here, you're coming for that.
Yeah.
And then, so is it USA Archery?
Yeah, mainly USA Archery.
Trying to
I'm
make the
focused
US
on.
team?
Maybe this summer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The new RED program.
Exactly.
Have to get her into that. I've got to get some details on that. I think there's some big changes there.
Yeah, there are definitely. It's a different format for USA Archery.
Doing any 3D this year?
I'm not sure. I know my dad wanted me to do some like ASA this summer, but I'm thinking about it.
That'd be fun. Give you a little different experience.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Well, we're coming down the line here. I think we have some prizes to give away potentially.
All right, archers, door prize time again. First, from Specialty Archery, we have a $50 gift certificate for any specialty products, value $50. Brian Simos is our winner. Brian Simos. Next, from Black Eagle, we have a gift certificate for 1 dozen PS 27 shafts, value $164.99. Haley Golden is our winner. Haley Golden. Winners, you can claim your prizes in the vendor area at the door prize pickup.
There's one of the guys from our area there, Brian DeBona, on the left-hand side of your screen there. Heritage Archery Academy. They do a lot of lessons up there too. That's Mike Price.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Louis Price's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Mike and Louis, they run a big shop up there. Well, the whole family. I shouldn't say just those two. I mean, it's a big shop and it's a big family event.
There's somebody wrote hello.
Oh,
or
on the top of the wheel there.
LOL, something like that.
Oh yeah. Rick Tweedy. That's Bale 99. That's where Marissa and I were shooting today.
Should be good luck in there then.
No, we wore it out. I don't know what happened, but we caught the hex on the very last end of our round today. 3 of the 4 archers on the very last end shot zeros.
Wow.
Yeah,
Ouch.
1 arrow. I mean, not total zeros, but
no.
But somehow 3 of the 4 of us managed to get 1 arrow off the paper. yeah, it wasn't awesome.
That's not good.
There's one of your teammates there, and I saw that, as you called it, the highlighter shirt.
Yeah, the highlighter shirt.
The Northeast Archery Academy, their shooter shirts
Right.
have that day glow yellow kind of color to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was looking for Coach Gary last year, and I was like, hey, have you seen Gary? And she's like, yeah, I see the guy over there that looks like a highlighter. Wow, that's brutal. Funny but brutal. So, but that's what this whole event is about, is coming down and shooting a tournament, having a great time and having a good experience. Have you guys been over to the Lancaster Archery shop yet?
We haven't, this time that we've been here. A couple of months ago, I came here for one of the tournaments, and we bought, fletchings and stuff from there last time we were there.
Hey, you won some stuff today. You announced her name. She won some stuff. You won feathers.
Oh.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
All right. She uses feathers.
They were
Yeah.
mine. I had them at home, and I decided I'm going to give them to Marissa today.
You know, it's that whole Santa Claus thing.
Exactly.
Coming for you
That's
again.
right.
See, P.J. Riley, Santa Claus, same guy.
Looks like we had a late shooter down there. They're definitely behind the group.
Yeah, there's still. Oh well, there's another
Oh,
group
yeah.
down there. Trying to figure out what's what. Get a judge to come over and take a look at their scores and see how things are going. Guy there in the orange vest,
There he is, Larry Wise, the legend.
the man, the myth.
He's been officiating our tournament for I don't know how long. It may be since the beginning, but
I might say ever.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Mhm.
And he's just great. Runs a tight ship, but yet just a fun person to be around.
Yeah,
Great
but he's
guy.
smooth about it.
He is.
All of his judges I shouldn't call them judges. All of the officials, he has meetings with them. He makes sure everybody's on the same page, that everybody looks at arrows the same way, so that all the different archers across get the same treatment.
Sure.
It's very,
Yep.
very important.
Absolutely. Because it can, you can imagine with referees, you see them in other sports, that it could be gruff and rough, but it's not with a Larry Wise crew. I mean, he understands this is a serious competition, but it's also fun. So.
And the way that the thing I like about Larry is he's always from the approach of, I want to make sure the archer gets every point they've earned.
Right. Yep.
Right. He's never looking to call an arrow out necessarily. He's looking for, is there a way that arrow's in?
Yeah.
Without giving away points.
Exactly.
But hey, is there a chance that that's possibly in, rather than, let me see if it's out.
Yeah.
Right. And I just think that subtle mindset difference makes a big difference in how archers react to the officials on the line.
Absolutely.
We didn't have to call him official all day today. We just had knockout dragouts right there at the bail and said, no, it's out.
That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Mhm. How about you guys? How did it go over on your bail?
We had to call a judge the last round, and that was the only time.
The last end.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
Figured it out.
Yeah.
Last one, you just said, I don't know what it is. Let's get a judge.
It's probably her arrow for an axe.
No.
See some more of those JMU archers. There must be a pile of them out there because I'm seeing lots of jerseys, and it's not the same people in them.
Nope.
So
There's Mike Schlosser. Alex
Oh,
Schlosser.
yeah. Hoyt jersey there on the right. Mike Schlosser, world ranked #1 archer by World Archery. So he's from the Netherlands. Just incredible archer.
Look at all the barebow guys.
They are.
You know, I'd like to, if I thought I could try that for a few months without goofing up my game, would you try that, Marisa? Barebow?
Barebow?
I don't know. I feel like it'd be fun to do because it kind of like lets off the pressure of like compound. Like you can shoot like 9s and 8s and 7s with like a barebow and be fine.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, wow, that's great. You shot 9.
you shoot like that with a compound and kind of like, you
They
know.
point at you.
You're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've talked to John Demmer about with the barebow archery is that he could shoot a 4 and still win the tournament.
Yeah.
You shoot a 4 with a compound, you might as well just pack your bags.
You
and
could
go
just
home.
leave.
You're done.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I can go back to my room tonight and pack my bow.
Absolutely.
I tried. I gave it hell.
So there's we've got a good shot of a wrist sling there, similar to a finger sling, but it just goes around his wrist.
What do you know about that blind around his hat?
Again, I just got a quick look at it. So what he's doing is he may have some issues with, he's obviously shooting right hand. Maybe his left eye tends to take over a little bit and he needs to block that out because if he wants to keep both eyes open, he's aiming with his right eye, but if that left eye takes over, then all of a sudden he's going to start pulling some shots off target there.
Yep, they use those blinders to occlude that dominant eye. We call it cross dominance.
Right. So that's me. So I would, if I were to swing a baseball bat, I would swing left-handed, but I shoot right-handed. I'm too old to change. I'm not changing it. But I close one eye. I close my left eye just because I'm sure that eye takes over, just to force my right eye to aim. So maybe if I were Marissa's age, I would switch to left hand, but I'm not switching now.
You, with all the people you know, you can't find a left-handed bow?
I'm saying I probably could, but it would take me so long to get used to it, and that's
No, come
too
on.
much.
Well, when I started, I was a lefty because I shoot long guns left hand, I shoot pistol left hand. I write right-handed, but I'm very cross dominant.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, man, this left-handed gear is hard to come by.
Well, that's true.
So I wonder how hard it is to shoot a right-handed bow. So I just switched to right-handed. I still own them. The very first bows I ever bought, they turned out to be Martins, but yeah, I still have them. They're both lefties. I don't know what I'm ever going to do with them, but.
Marisa, how do you shoot when you're shooting? Do you have both eyes open? Do you close one? Do you squint one?
I close my left eye.
You do close.
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen some archers out there that use a eye patch. We have a young lady who shoots our Joe at Graceland. She's famous for her fancy eye patches. They always have like beads on them.
Like a pirate patch.
They're really
that's all
cool. Yeah, it's
bedazzled.
like a pirate patch that's bedazzled. They're always cool. I always like seeing what she breaks out for a tournament.
Different ones for different events, different outfits.
I've seen different ones, yeah.
You know, I thought the lighting was better. How did you feel about this year, Marisa? Did you notice the lighting was? Did you feel? I felt like it was brighter this year.
It might
Over
have
on the turf side.
Yeah,
I don't know if
think
they
it was
made a
little brighter.
change or if they changed the bulbs or something. It didn't feel as dark this year over on the turf side.
So as we were just told by our producer, ask and you will get the answer. They
Yeah.
changed the lighting. It's all LED.
The mystery voice in our ear. The director, apparently,
Sorry.
has told us, no, it's LED. Hey, they're scoring arrows, so
Oh, yeah.
what does that mean?
That's time to give something away.
Do it.
Archers, listen up. It's door prize time. First, from Easton, we have the Easton Elite Field Quiver, value $99.99. Robert Jennings is our winner. Robert Jennings. Next, from Vortex Optics, we have a pair of Diamondback 10 by 50 binoculars, value $249.99, and Aaron Sakshewski is our winner. Aaron Sakshewski. You can claim your prizes in the vendor area at the door prize pickup.
You made that name up.
I struggled with that one, that was for sure.
There was a couple of names I heard you announce earlier, and I'm like, those are not real names. those are made up names.
All of them were real. Maybe somebody registered under an alias for whatever reason. I don't know.
So apparently at least one person is listening, because during the break there, I got a text from Bob Borges. He says he'll teach me how to shoot barebow.
There you go.
I'm
perfect.
I don't know if I can handle that.
Give it a shot, you know. It's fun, just for flinging arrows.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Exactly, nothing.
We've done it for centuries, right?
Yes.
I was looking to see where we are in the scoring, trying to figure out how far we are along. Oh, there's a, wow, look at that target.
That's a good looking target there.
Dang.
It depends if it's 3 arrows or if it's 10.
It's at least 4,
yeah,
apparently.
4. Apparently the top one does not work too well for Riley Wolford.
So Riley has a really great second shot?
Yes.
Or a really bad first arrow.
Yeah.
That one, the first arrow might need to be culled.
Yeah.
Taken out of the quiver, sent back to the bin.
So I am looking down the scores here. For Open Pro, obviously we still have Braden Galantine, #1, 660. That's not going to change. Paul Tedford and Dave Cousins, both 2 down at 658. Dave Cousins, it's been a couple years since he was on fire here, so great to see that. Tate Morgan and Christopher Perkins right behind them at 657. Stefan Hansen, 656. Levi Morgan at 655.
It's good to see him do well.
Absolutely. Well-known 3D shooter from just a couple hours west of here. He's right there in the mix, only 5 back. That's great. And last I talked to him, he said he was going to shoot his 3D rig, which means he's pulling 70 pounds. To drop 5 points shooting 70 pounds, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but he's a stallion, so he's got it.
Well, 70 pounds for him would be like 10 for me, so he...
It's not like a recurve where it gets more and more and more because he has a longer wingspan. 70 pounds is 70 pounds.
No, I mean, it would, you know, he pulls 70 like I pull 10.
Oh, that's true. Well, I don't want to throw you under the bus here, but the news crew that was here this morning filming.
Yes.
They said you had to go get a different bow.
So, yep, we had to go get a different bow.
What happened?
We had a newsman here. I won't mention his name just to protect him, but so we gave him my bow that was at 58 pounds. That's my indoor target setup. He couldn't pull it back.
Oh, it was him that couldn't pull it back.
Yeah.
Oh, he led me to believe it was you. No. There was a bow sitting. There was a bow sitting there.
Yeah, that was my bow, my Matthews. It's right behind us over there.
And he says, I says, "Where'd PJ?" And he says, he went to get another bow, and I go, "Why?" And he was like, "Can't pull it back."
Oh.
And I was like, "PJ can't pull the bow?"
Yeah, he couldn't.
I was like,
pull
"Wow,
back.
that's really embarrassing." And then I walked away. I just kind of chuckled. I didn't realize it was him that.
I'm glad I got to correct this, Chuck. I wouldn't want you thinking.
I was like, oh, that's kind of fun.
I took a turn out.
What are you shooting for a bow, Marisa?
Hoyt Prevail.
And now, what weight do you? What's your draw weight?
Only 43.
43.
Only
That's
43.
good.
Yeah.
But if you, what are you, like 85 pounds?
Yeah, I
dripping
probably
wet?
couldn't pull that. When I was your age, no way.
No way. I only shoot 55 for indoor.
Really?
Yeah. There's no need to pull more than that.
Well,
Plus,
yeah.
I'm old.
So getting back to the newsman, so I took a turn out, which on Matthews, that's about 3 pounds. Still couldn't pull it back.
Ooh.
I took another turn out. Still couldn't pull it back. So now I'm getting down close to 50, and I was like, I don't really want to take another turn out of this. So we had to go find him a recurve. And
Oh, yeah, that's okay. So that's why you guys were out here shooting the recurves.
He
okay,
shot the
I got
recurve,
it.
yeah.
I got it.
but hey, you know, He had never, ever shot a bow before in his life. And I was telling him, you know, and people out there is almost nothing you do where you use the coordination of muscles to draw a bow. There's almost nothing you do that uses those same muscles in that sequence. And so it's not strength, it's coordination. He was plenty strong to pull back.
Yeah, he was a big
pounds.
dude.
He was a big guy.
Yeah.
It's just not, he didn't have the coordination, the muscle coordination.
Right. Well, I mean, you look at Marisa, and, you know, she's a tiny little thing, 15 years old. 43 pounds you're pulling?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
So that's for a full tournament. So she could probably pull 55 one time if she had to.
Yeah, and get this. So she practiced this morning, shot the tournament, and I still have my bow in my hand walking back to the room. She's like, hey, you want to go practice later?
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm ready for a nap.
No,
She's got to get her arrows
She
in.
will. She'll shoot 150 arrows today, no problem.
I mean, Gary will be mad, but it's fine.
That's just coach. He's not here.
Well, he'll be here tomorrow and he'll kill me, but
That's tomorrow.
yeah.
But, you know, if you do really well in the tournament, he won't kill you. So
That's
there you go.
right.
See? It's all preparation. See, she's got it figured out.
Exactly. So we're looking here, the gentleman in the middle in the green olive shirt. Oh, well, we switched over here.
That's a great
got
look
a
at that
lefty.
hinge release there.
Yep, he's
Pull,
got the
buddy,
hinge.
pull,
He's pulling.
pull. Drive that elbow. Drive that elbow. There it goes. Did you see the elbow drive off?
I did.
Yep. He didn't cheat that.
No.
I didn't see the curl of the hand. He stayed true to it. I don't know where the arrow landed, but he stayed true to the shot.
So his rest there, we can see it honing in. It says Freak Show. That's AAE rest named after Jesse Broadwater. I was talking earlier how his nickname is the Freak Show because he's just a freak on the archery range.
He was a guest of the show earlier today, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I think Greg had him on, right?
Yes.
Yep.
But here, this gentleman I wanted to talk about, he's got a bow hunter setup. So you can see he's got the short stabilizer. He will have a, it's called a fixed pin. It can be an adjustable pin, but once you start shooting, you can't adjust it. So
Yeah, you
that's
can't
what
touch
makes
it,
it fixed.
That's the old click rule.
Yeah, and he's got a rear stabilizer. Surprisingly, we actually have no restrictions on what you can do with your rear bar in bow hunter. It's only the front bar.
Yeah, which I've always thought is strange.
I was strange. Someone called me on the rule because I always thought that it was sort of like NFA, that it had to fit in a certain distance. And they were like, no, I can put a 15-inch if I want on the back.
Yeah. I think
I don't know why you do that, but
I think it varies from, and I'm not a bow hunter shooter, so this isn't gospel, but from what I understand, the ASA and the IBO and the NFAA have 3 different sets of rules for what a bow hunter setup is, and then USA Archery probably has their own set rule.
USA Archery doesn't even have a bow hunter class.
Oh, they
I
don't?
don't think they have
No.
bow hunter.
They
It's
just
all
have the
straight.
bare bow, right?
Yeah, I think they have bare bow.
So you were talking about the archer who's shooting the hinge, and I find that's, so if I'll come back to full draw, I shoot a hinge, and that, you know, with the good natural flow of the release, it will just go off, but sometimes I get stuck. And so if I'm holding there, sometimes I will curl the hand, and it usually is never a good choice.
Kind of cheat that, kind of roll that through.
And it's, yeah, if I stay in and hold it and it breaks on its own, usually good things happen. So
Yes, that means your timing is right.
so this young lady here, I just saw her. She's actually shooting one of my favorite releases. It's called the Stan Element. And so this is what they call a resistance activated release. So that release has absolutely no trigger. And it has a safety. She holds a full draw. Does Marisa shoot that?
I shot it a couple of years ago.
Okay.
But she
And-
shot it for everything.
Yeah, I shot it like outdoors, indoors.
So the way this works is you set that release to your specific draw weight. And what you want to do is when you get to your holding weight, you're just going to keep pulling through. And, you know, at some point after that, it's going to go off. So if you like to pull a lot, then you're going to set it heavier, or you can have it set just a little bit above your holding weight so it goes off quickly. But it's a great release for eliminating target panic, or at least fighting target panic, because you can't punch it. you just have to pull through the shot, which is what you want to do with any release. So I really love that release.
Right
I'm
now,
sure
Marisa, I mean, I've watched her train with this thing incessantly.
Yeah.
I mean, she shot it exclusively for everything. What were you going through, or why did you do that? Was that just to learn your shot?
Like horrible target panic
Right.
when I was younger.
Yep.
Like 6 years ago, I think it was, when I was shooting it. But like after a couple years of shooting it, when I was getting ready for hunting, my dad had me shooting a caliper, and he noticed like I just wrapped my finger around it and like used my back and like shot it properly. So he's like, okay, yeah, time for a thumb button.
And so for target panic for you, how was that manifesting itself? Like what would happen when you would come to full draw when you were in your target panic?
Oh, it was horrible. I remember I was shooting outdoor mids in Mechanicsburg, and I remember specifically I would just come up on the target, just rip right through it. And this was with the element, so it was like horrible.
So when the pin got into the yellow, would it just, you would just freak out? Or
Yeah, I would just rip right through it.
Oh, let's give away some stuff here first, Marisa.
All right, archers, door prize time again. First up from B Stinger, we have one micro hex stabilizer set, which includes a front bar and a rear bar. Value $390. The winner is Chad Rada. Chad Rada. From Carter, we have the Carter Target 4 release in blue. $209.99 value for Chris Duhame. Chris Duhame is the winner. Winners, after you're done shooting, you can pick up your prizes in the vendor area from the door prize pickup.
So the stand release that you were, back then you were shooting the Element. Did you ever go to their new one, the Resistance?
I was given to it by Eric, but I've practiced with it a little bit. I'm more towards the Perfects, the button, than the Resistance.
So which one are you shooting now? Just the regular Perfect?
Yeah, the regular Perfects.
Right.
So yes, we want to be sure and thank one of our sponsors here, which is Win and Win, and they put on a great clinic today, the Wee-O-Weast Bow Science. Had a Q&A with USAT recurve archer Tom Stanwood. Win and Win, of course, one of the top recurve manufacturers in the world. You've got Hoyt, you've got Win and Win. They're both, you know, big players in the Olympic recurve market.
Pretty much if you're not shooting Hoyt, you're shooting the Win and Win.
Exactly,
By and large,
top level, and we sell a lot of Win and Win stuff. We have a great relationship with them.
Well, I see their name right here, the Wee-O-Wiz on the booth, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And if I'm not mistaken, they took care of us last year for the booth as well.
Yes, exactly.
So they're a big partner for Lancaster Archery.
No question. We do. They send some people in every now and then, and it's always a great time seeing the Win and Win folks, seeing what new products they come out with, new limbs, new risers.
And you guys, are you able to work with them on that, with design ideas and things?
I don't know that we've ever worked with them on design stuff, but it's funny you mentioned that, because the Pelican bow case we were talking about, they did come in and ask us, hey, if you were going to build a bow case, what would you do to it? And so we gave them a bunch of ideas, and they incorporated them into this new Pelican bow case that they built.
So you're getting one with your name on it.
Well, they didn't specifically ask me. They asked other more important people in the food chain than P.J. Riley, you know, sitting in the corner there.
Well, you're going to have to do a
playing on
Pelican bow case
YouTube
review, I'm sure.
I did one at ATA.
I saw it. Well, I heard about that one.
So look at that crowd there. It is, I mean, we're at 7:13. It's winding down on the 4 p.m. line, and it's still packed. And I know that shot that they're doing there, that's at the far end of the range.
That's where we used to have our setup.
Yeah.
That's where the trailer and the broadcast booth used to be down there with those guys.
And speaking of which, so just to the right there, you just can't see it out there, but there is a trailer down there that is a portable bathroom. And why am I talking about a portable bathroom? It is the nicest bathroom I've ever seen. I don't, portable or not. There's granite countertops in there.
You were so
wood
impressed. You
doors.
actually posted a picture of this thing. I saw it online, and I was like, I think it's been a while since I've been so impressed by a trailer bathroom.
A trailer bathroom
that I had.
The thing is beautiful.
Well, if I need one, I will endeavor to make my way to the farthest end of the building possible.
So they had to put that down.
It's a good idea though, because
well, what
that's
happened
a long
was
way from the bathroom.
What happened is a lot of us in the masters and seniors were down there, and we're like, "Hey, man, we're the ones who need it, and it's a long way to the bathroom from here.
Well, we don't have time."
That's right.
Yeah. That's a long walk from that end of the building.
Yes,
this building is huge. I mean, it's a giant building.
Yeah, what are we talking about here? It's like 700,000 square feet.
17 acres.
17 acres.
I don't know how many thousand square feet that is. 17 acres.
Yeah.
I can hunt on 17 acres.
Those of you who may have had Armstrong flooring, this was the plant where they made Armstrong flooring. That's what this facility was before it became a sports complex. This was a big manufacturing facility for them. So for a long time, we're in Lancaster County. Armstrong World Industries was the largest employer in the county. Now a lot of their divisions have been sent off to other parts of the world, but and they left this facility, which Spooky folks took over. And
man, they've done an incredible job with it.
This is the home base for the U.S. women's field hockey team.
Is it really?
This is their home facility. They train here. They have tournaments here. So yeah, it's just it's a great place.
And this is in Mannheim, Pennsylvania, just outside of Lancaster.
Yep.
Just shy. It's in fact, I had to drive down last night when I got in. I had to drive down and pick up something from Donnie Thacker. It's 17 minutes from Lancaster Archery Supply to here, so it's I mean it's not that far. It's just down the road.
Sure. Yep. Yeah, we were so grateful.
Oh wait,
Super
Super Archer.
Say?
Look at that.
Super Archer.
I saw that on that. What bail number was that? It says Super Archer. Somebody's really getting creative out there.
Hold there.
Oh, little punch.
Bow kind of popped up.
Man, that's a good looking bow though. That pretty blue with those white limbs. You know who makes that one? That's my brand, baby.
There's Chris Schaff on the right there, the red Hoyt jersey.
As much as he's been winning lately, I don't think he'll ever cut his hair.
Is that his thing now? He says
I
he's
don't
not
know,
gonna
but
cut
if I was him, as well as he's been shooting, I would just let it grow until it changed. I don't know if it's practice or karma or gear or what the magic word is, but yeah, he's been shooting really, really good lately, putting up some killer scores.
So that young man there in the front on the left says Archery Learning Center. That's another great facility down south run by George Riles IV, aka Griv. Just like considered one of the gurus of compound archery. And he has a great program down there, turning out a lot of really excellent archers.
3 of his kids swept the podium last week in Nimes.
In Nimes. Yeah. They're just incredible young people down there doing some wonderful
Have you been
things.
down or have you taken any lessons from Griv at all, Marissa?
No, I haven't. I mean, my dad was thinking about it for me, but I haven't really decided.
Maybe do a camp down there or something.
Yeah.
He does. Because he does a summer camp, he does a Christmas camp.
He comes and does clinics at Lancaster Archery.
Yeah, that's right.
He
I took
does.
one here.
They're sold out in like 2 days.
Yep.
And this is months ahead of time.
Yeah,
so.
and it's a 2-day seminar. I came down here and took one from George over at the Lancaster facility. Yeah, it was great.
He's shooting here this weekend. I saw him.
Hey, they're walking towards the targets. Do you know what that means?
That means it must be time to give away some cool stuff.
Come on, you haven't called my name once today.
Maybe Marissa's up this time.
She already won.
Oh, he can't.
All right, archers, door prize time. First, from Neat, we have the NT 2100 Target Quiver, black, right hand, value $79.99, and that's going to go to Nicholas Lukansky. Nicholas Lukansky. Next, from Mountain Ops, we have 1 bottle of Ignite Trail Packs in pink lemonade, value $49.95. Daniel Hahn is our winner. Daniel Hahn. You can pick up your prizes in the vendor area from the door prize pickup.
As we're sitting here silently on this end, we're trying to look at the scores that are posted and figure out how many ends there are left to shoot. Looks like there's about 2 ends according to the scoring. It's got to be close.
It looks like Jesse brought. There's the one I like to see if you're looking at the archer score. Number 1, Braden Galantine. So it gives you the average over your 60 arrows. And his average is 11 over 60 arrows. That's how you know it.
That's
660.
Perfect.
So it looks like Jesse Broadwater is going to be right up there in the mix.
So
Pretty
look
high.
at this. This is the cut here right now.
640.
640 is currently the cut. What was it last year? 645.
Oh, okay.
645. So, I mean, that can shift a little, but that's a pretty good projection.
Right.
Yeah. And all of those guys that are 640 have already shot. So
Gotcha.
some of these guys are going to be on the bubble.
Right.
Right.
They could get
There's
knocked
guys.
off.
There's guys shooting in the Open Pro division right now at the 4 o'clock line. They're going to push some of these guys off.
Well, for sure. We know Jesse is at a 10.96 average, which means he's, I think, only dropped 4 X's so far with potentially 2 ends to go.
Yeah, when you scroll down, so you've got a 1086, a 1088. So Jacob Pettit, Dan McCarthy, Richard Jackson, Jake Gleets, Dustin Bounce. Those guys are all looking like they're going to get over the bubble because their per arrow average is currently higher than what the cut line is. Cut line is at 64. So right now to make the cut, you have to be, you can't be any lower than 10.67.
Right.
Right? So when we look down on the scroll, right, there's a ton of shooters that are on the line right now. Mike Slosher, 10.98. Jesse Broadwater, Jacob Sluzars, Jonathan Scott. I'm really excited to see John Scott do so well. He's only down 3 right now. Jake Leeds, Rick Jackson, Dan McCarthy, we all talked about that. Chris Hacker.
Colby Hanley. That's a Griv archer. Young guys in college.
And imagine, so Colby is in college full-time, running UltraView full-time, right, which is a new scope company, new accessory company. They make the grips and all that other kind of stuff, right?
Scopes.
3D printing, right? He was at the ATA show, and he was in Neems.
He's crazy busy.
And he's here, and he has a booth here. So sleep clearly.
Yeah,
he's a vampire is what he is.
He's a motivated young guy, and it's just great to see someone like that succeed. He won some big award at his school. I forget if he goes to University of Georgia or Georgia Tech, I think it is. And for his business, for his archery business, he won this award in the business program.
Yep, and then it went to a national vote, and he won the national award as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I don't remember the name of it, but it was a really, basically you do a presentation kind of like a TED Talk or kind of like Apple does with their product presentation. So you have to design this whole big presentation thing like that, and then boom, put it out there against all these other universities, and UltraView won, which is fantastic. And when you talk to him about his products and you talk to him about how things work, I've looked at some of the new 3D things that he's printing, and it's it's light years ahead of the stuff he was doing just a few months ago.
Exactly.
I think he owns his, I think, oh man, let's see, I think he said he owned like 15 or 20 of his own printers already. I mean, he owns them. He's a college kid.
Those things aren't cheap.
I'm going to go with no. Yeah. I can't run a laser printer, much less one of a 3D printer.
I like that guy's shirt there with the bald eagle and the flag, and it's a great looking shirt there.
So Marisa, what's on tap for you for this evening? You're going to do a little more practice, get ready for tomorrow.
Oh, I'm not really sure what
Get a
else.
good
Just
dinner in.
relax, yeah.
Who else came down with you? Dad and who else?
Jeff Miller out of Insight. He's shooting barebow class.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, see, he's one of the add-ons. We had over 200 people this year in barebow. It's huge. So Insight Archery, is that where, that's your home club, right?
Yeah.
And that's where?
In Binghamton, New York.
They have a huge facility down there, too. I think you can shoot 40 or 50 yards inside game.
Yeah, 40 yards, 3D range.
Good shot there, honing in on Mike Schlosser. In the middle, Alex Wiffler to the left. They got some Vegas wins under their belts. So Mike Schlosser is one of those archers who uses a thumb trigger, and he unabashedly will just hammer that trigger.
Mikey?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He will just pound it.
Watch it. You can probably see it right through his shoulder there. No, he's
well,
doing better today.
You get a little bit of it, but
no, his thumb comes from Cleveland, man. I mean, he just
he hammers it, but goes in the middle. So there's proof that, okay, you're a puncher. Well, that's not all bad if you can control it.
If you talk to Tim Gillingham, the term is command shooter.
Command shooter, yes, I've heard it called that.
And there's, you know, it's funny because with this CAM project that we've been working on, this competition archery media, and now that I've taken on the role of doing podcasts, I decided to go back and listen to some of your podcasts. Command shooting. You had two guys on there that talked about target panic.
Ah, yes, Tom Klum and Joel Turner.
Yes. And they have a really, really, really interesting theory on command shooting and why it can be so accurate and why you can be so good with it. Now, you can't be a puncher.
Right.
You have to be a command shooter.
Yes.
And there is a drastic yet visually subtle difference as to how well that works. And so he was starting to get into that kind of stuff, and I was like, you know what? So that Gillingham guy, he might have been onto something a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know?
If you can have your left arm as a right-handed shooter stay in control when you hit that release with your right, hey, why not?
I can't get my left foot to go in front of my right foot. If they're scoring arrows, that means we have to give away a prize back
Yeah,
here,
let's
right?
do that.
All right, archers, door prize time. From Stanislavski, we have the Stan Perfects long neck thumb release in size large, value $249.99. Trenton Coles is our winner. Trenton Coles. From True Ball and Excel, we have the Excel Achieve XP Carbon Compound Target Sight with a 6-inch bar, black right hand. Value $449.99, and our winner is Rebecca Matthews. Rebecca Matthews. Winners, you can head over to the vendor area and pick up your prizes from the door prize pickup. All right, archers, only one end left after this one. Door prize time here. From Gas Bowstrings, we have a complete set of high-octane string and cables, value $129.99. Reagan Bryan is our winner. Reagan Bryan. From SKB, we have the Hybrid 4115 small bow case, 2 SKB SC 4115. Value $149.99. Rob Jokinen is the winner. Rob Jokinen. Winners, when you're done shooting, you can claim your prizes in the vendor area from the door prize pickup.
Did you
So-
see that look at Mike's target there?
I did.
So,
Looks pretty clean this half.
yeah, Lexi is our camera operator out there. She's pushing around a camera on a tripod. And dude, that didn't look like he touched a 10 line yet.
And so right next to him, so here's a perfect example of some things we've been talking about. Right next to him, there was a target that said Clay Weaver. So that's a young guy, teenage guy, high school senior. He is the son of Jared Weaver, who is
Oh,
our sales and marketing manager.
No kidding.
So there he is, high school senior, football player. He's a really good archer as well. He's shooting on the line next to Mike Schlosser. Mr. Perfect, #1 in the world. I mean, that's just incredible.
Who do you think's having a better time?
I'm going to bet you Clay is liking shooting next to Mike Schlosser.
Yeah. Do you get, Marisa, when you get on the line and you get next to some of these big name archers, who do you look up to? Who's your big fan?
I'm not really sure. Like I look at like Alexis Ruiz and like the younger ones that are like more closer to my age, and I kind of look up to like those ones.
Now, if you got next to them on the line and had to shoot against them, do you think you'd be all nerved up because of that?
Probably a little bit. I mean, I feel like I'd be fine though. You know, just shoot.
You still want to beat her.
Yeah.
Alexis is here. I saw her coach, Mel Nichols, earlier today. So she's out there. I'm sure she'll be in the mix somewhere.
Who's the guy on the left-hand side of the screen there?
Colin oh my God, why can't I think of his name?
But he shoots out of that's part of the Northeast Archery Academy,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I know he's shooting well today.
He
Yeah.
normally does shoot pretty well. I've shot with him
Yeah.
in practice up there, and he's pretty stout.
Yeah, he's improved a lot the past couple of years because I went up to Rochester and shot with them a couple months ago, like for the first time in like a year. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really improved his game quite a bit.
He looks like he's itching to get those last 3 hours off. He's like ready to hit that line.
So what's the game plan for this evening, PJ? What's on the schedule after we get all done with shooting today? What's going on in the building?
Yep. Okay, so we'll be here until 9 o'clock tonight. Not us sitting here talking to people.
No.
The live stream ends when this ends. But people will be here practicing until 9. And then back here first thing tomorrow, 8 a.m. If you can't make it out, make sure you get onto our live stream. We're going to start coverage first thing in the morning, 8 a.m. with the elimination matches, and then we're just going to go all day. We will have, as I mentioned, our shoot-up finals. We'll start at 1 p.m. with the Senior Open. It will conclude with the always popular Barebow finals at 5:40 p.m. Of course, starting at 1 p.m., we have our Easton Youth Trophy Tournament, which that's going to be awesome. We got almost 400 kids, young people under the age of 21. That's the cutoff. So 20-year-old probably wouldn't want to be called a kid, although it would be
it's a
to
kid.
me. Yeah, it's a kid to be.
If you can't buy beer, you're a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's at 1 p.m. They're going to be out there shooting their 60-hour round, and then we're going to have awards after that. So big day tomorrow. We're certainly looking forward to it.
Yeah, huge day of coverage. There's tomorrow is going to be, man, it's going to be fast-paced.
Action-packed.
There's going to be a lot going on. So whatever you have scheduled for tomorrow, get it done tonight, because tomorrow's going to be busy, and so is Sunday.
Marissa's going to be out there. She's going to be
Yep.
competing, hopefully. We got our fingers crossed. Scores haven't come in, but we're feeling good about it.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That was pretty, well, that was pretty
If
high
you're
up.
not, we're going to give you a broom, and you're going to help tear down targets and sweep the floors.
We always need help doing that.
But you guys, I mean, the Lancaster team, I mean, you guys, honestly, I don't have any idea how you get this all done. I swear to God, it's fairies and pixie dust and how you make
So
it happen.
this year, I mean, it's a lot of work, but I can say this year was the smoothest it's ever been. It's our 3rd year here, so we have some track record. But I mean, the folks, Chris Scott, Trey Bruggerman, and Jared Weaver kind of ran the crews here, and man, we just knocked it out. They really put it forth, and people are seeing it today.
So we'll make sure that we have all of the schedules. Now, I've looked online and I've seen the schedules are there. If you go to the Lancaster Archery page, the schedules are there for the shoot-up finals that
Absolutely.
start. So the elimination matches start tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Yes.
Which means we go live at 8 a.m. So we'll actually be here a little bit before that. The Easton Youth Trophy Tournament again at 1. And then the shoot-up finals actually start at 1. That's when the big stuff happens. That's where we're in this room with the dramatic lighting and the music and all of that other kind of stuff, where we're shooting up through the ladder. We're going to kick that off with the Senior Open, the Women's Open, the Masters Open, Bow Hunter.
So just so people know, so the Easton Youth Trophy Tournament, our video feed will be of the finals, but we will have through social media. We're out there with those kids. We're going to be taking pictures. We're going to be posting things.
They aren't ignored.
So they are not ignored.
It's a
They're
very important part of what goes on down here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there will be coverage. I can tell you we're going to have pictures of every one of those podiums from the youth tournament.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we have the awards ceremony for Saturday night at 6:30 for all the divisions that we finished. And again, those start about 1 o'clock. Those are going to end around 6:15. So we got about 5.5 hours coverage there, roughly, for those shoot-up finals. And then the big day, Sunday, is when we do the pro divisions and things like that. So it'll be Masters Open Pro. And again, starting early, 8 a.m., Masters Open Pro, Women's Recurve, Men's Recurve. Women's Recurve, of course, that's what we're see. We're going to hope we see Casey in there. Absolutely. Men's Recurve, hoping we're going to see Crispin in there, hoping we're going to see Brady in there. Youth Male, Men's Open, Women's Open Pro, and then the big finale with the Open Pro with the new designation this year. Did any women sign up for Open Pro this year?
I don't believe they did.
That'll be your turn next year, Marisa.
Yep. But yeah, $20,000 top prize.
Plus all the contingency money.
Yep, we talked about that. I mean,
some of these archers can double, almost triple their paycheck.
It could be a $50,000, $60,000 weekend.
Yeah,
yep,
that's crazy.
Depending on the program.
So, and that'll all culminate at about 2:30. We should be all done by about 11:30 tomorrow. Also, tomorrow, don't forget about the Meet the Pros event that's going to be going on. Do we have to give away prizes here at this end?
I think we have one more to do.
All right, archers, you made it. Congratulations. The 4 p.m. line at the Lancaster Archery Classic is now finished. This is our last door prize of the day. First, from Conquest, we have a gift certificate for 1 front bar and 1 side bar of the Control Freak 500 Pro X Plus stabilizers, valued $369.98, and our winner is Richard Scholl. Finally, from Shrewd, we have the Shrewd 35mm Optum scope body, black right hand with Shrewd Optum ring system, $29,000, $170 value, and our winner is Dustin Garner. Winners, you can pick up your prizes in the vendor area from the door prize pickup.
All right, so we were going over the schedule. Well, I. Meet the Pros, 11:30 to 1:30 tomorrow, up in the atrium. That's where we did all the seminars. Are you going to go up to that, Marisa? Who do you want to go see? All the pros are going to be up there. Get some autographs, say hi.
I don't think I'm going to.
You don't want to go see any pros?
She's going to be getting ready for her finals match.
Oh, that's right.
She's going to be in the shoot-up, so there it is.
Youth Female Open.
So she's going to...
She'll be napping or something.
She's going to be going
yeah,
through
probably.
all.
And we do have one seminar left tomorrow. Saturday morning, we do have at 11 a.m. We have one seminar left from Lenny Resmer.
Yep.
From Faradine is doing a seminar on Aerospine.
You want to know about Aerospine? Lenny will break it down for you.
I'm going to tell you, I wish I could go. You know what you're probably doing at 11 tomorrow if you're not doing anything else? I'm probably going to send you there with a camera and take notes. Because I you know, that kind of information in all the seminars that we had, and I talked to a few people already, you know, this afternoon. Hey, how did the seminars go? And everybody was really wowed by it. To have this information here for people is amazing.
Well, Braden Galantine shoots a 660. 30 minutes later, he's doing a seminar on winning setups for USA Archery and World Archery.
Yeah, probably nobody went.
How cool is that?
Yeah, because what does he know, right? Don't forget, we do have shuttle schedule service going back and forth from the Lancaster Archery facility to the Spooky Nook Sports facility all weekend long. Basically, the shuttles run every hour on the hour. And the pro shop, if you don't take the shuttle, the pro shop is open tonight until 9 o'clock. The pro shop is open, and this is the Lancaster Archery Pro Shop. Saturday is open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And Sunday the pro shop is open from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. as well. So make sure if you don't buy something from the Lancaster trailer, get over to the shop and buy it there. Are they bringing stuff back and forth like they did in years past? You could order something in the trailer, they would bring it from the warehouse?
Absolutely. Yeah, and the trailer, I know, runs out of stuff. I bet you they ran out of arrow lube today. So.
Oh, I guarantee. I bought a bottle myself.
So it looks like we've probably got a couple makeup arrows here. That's what's happening. That's why these folks are still on the line. And a makeup arrow would be they didn't get to shoot for some reason. Yeah, so we're gonna. This is not the full line shooting, but these are just folks who had to make up some arrows for one reason or another.
You might be called a liar right now.
I think I should call myself one. Well, that's definitely not a makeup line. So I guess we had one more end to go.
Apparently we had one more end.
I jumped the gun there. My bad.
So the shoot up format tomorrow, PJ, let's talk about that just a little bit, what to expect, because it's going to be completely different here. We have the elimination format. Now, are you familiar, Marisa, with the elimination format? How does that work?
So it's like first place seed, and for my class it's a 6th seed, and they go up against each other. You shoot 4 rounds, 12 arrows, same scoring and everything, and then once the person's out, you just keep going.
Right. Winner moves on, loser goes home.
Yep.
Yep. So 4 ends, 3 arrows, 30 seconds per arrow. Well, that's when we get to the shoot up, but for the eliminations, you know, it's that same score.
Yeah, and so as we mentioned, you know, once you get to that level, any archer can hit a hot streak and any archer can hit a cold streak. So anything can happen.
Because you have the clock, because you have such a tight timeline, if you let down or an arrow falls off a rest. Remember, was it Gabriella that had problems with her recurve a couple of years ago?
Gabriella Biardo.
Yep.
Shooting against Casey.
Yeah, she was shooting really, really, really well, and then for whatever reason, her nocks would pop off her string every time she.
Right.
And she clocked out. She lost a couple of arrows.
She took a couple zeros because of that. Yeah.
So those kind of things happen. Now, do you practice for that?
I do sometimes when I go up to Rochester, Northeast, and I shoot. A couple of weeks ago, I shot up there, and they do like a little competition with like qualifying, and they have a stage that you go and shoot. Right,
they set up a stage for you guys, just exactly like what they've got here. You guys get up on stages and do a shoot off. Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it gets the heart. She beat me one night up there. I thought I had her. I thought for sure, and then she looked over her shoulder, and I was like, "Oh, it's all over."
Oh yeah, that was last year.
Yeah, she gave me the look of death, and I was like, "No."
I don't think she feels bad about that.
She doesn't, not even a little. So then I asked her a couple of weeks ago. I was like, "Hey, you know, how'd it go?" And she's like, "Well, I won $120."
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So now she's a sleeper. She'll go up there and she'll hustle you for your money.
That's great.
No, I'm just a young girl, just shooting an arrow, and then just all of a sudden, next thing you know, you don't have a wallet left. You got to fund this trip somehow, right?
Yeah. My dad actually let me keep the money. He usually doesn't. He's like, "Oh, it's going towards archery." He actually let me keep it.
Nice.
Yeah, I know.
Bonus. What'd you buy? Anything cool?
I had to buy my boyfriend Christmas present.
Wait, what?
You didn't know I had a boyfriend?
No, I didn't know we were buying him Christmas presents.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a conversation for something else. But at least you got to keep it and buy something cool.
Yeah.
There you go. Did he like his Christmas present?
I think so. I don't know. It's weird.
These archers here, it's been a long day for them. They're probably thankful to get off these last few arrows. Of course, you don't want to let down your guard and chuck one into the outer circles there, so you got to stay focused.
3 more good arrows. That's the goal. 3 good arrows. One. Oh, and he doesn't look happy about that.
He didn't like that one.
No.
No.
That wasn't.
And that guy, he liked it.
Well, yeah.
I
he gave
think
it a
he
little
was fist pumping. Yeah, he liked it.
Yeah. That's the finish you like to have.
Absolutely.
That's the finish.
Mckenzie Brown there. We'll be checking on her score, see how she did today.
There's a big round of applause from everybody for finishing everything up.
All right, so Chuck and Marisa. So we were talking about Braden the whole time, his 660 perfect round. I was out there, got to see it. It was incredible. We, of course, have it on film. And just to take us out here to end the day, we're going to show a replay of those last 3 arrows, those finishing arrows. Marisa, we appreciate you stopping by. Chuck, as always, pleasure, and we'll be back here tomorrow. But let's end the day seeing a 660.
Yeah, we should have a perfect note there. Yeah, he got it.
He's feeling it there. There's a crowd that's going to come over and get him here in a second. There's Paul Tedford first
Steve
on the
Anderson.
line. Yeah.
Oh, Paul Tedford. That was great to watch. That was exciting.
Absolutely. So now we're going to send it out. We got to see that first off. But yeah, Marisa, we appreciate you stopping by to give us some insights. We certainly appreciate that. Chuck, we've got our schedule up here so everybody can see what we were talking about there at the end, when different things will be on. Of course, our live broadcast. I'd say it's a good day. Just sit it there, have it on the screen, playing, do whatever you're going to do on your Saturday. Have the Lancaster Archery Classic. Yeah.
Competition Archery Media. Look us up on Facebook. Look us up on YouTube. If you don't find the feeds there, find it through the Lancaster Archery channels on YouTube and the live scoring. Don't forget, live scoring is on Archers, which is RCHERZ, archers.com. And make sure you follow all our social media. We will be back here live roughly 8 a.m., which means the guys in the trailer will be here. I don't think they're going to go home. I think they're just going to set up a cot back there.
We're just going to keep them here.
We have that this beautiful new trailer out there to bring all this stuff to you. And man, we really appreciate you guys paying attention, all of you out there that are watching and sharing this, and encourage everybody else to continue to watch and share and make the dream come true.
See you tomorrow.